Can't get enough of your favorite Colonial sports? Follow RMU Athletics on social media at RMU Athletics on Twitter, RMU Athletics on Instagram, and be sure to like our page on Facebook at Robert Morris University Athletics. Go Colonials! Hey there, Colonial fans! It's time to meet our Student Athletes of the Week, sponsored by People's Gas. This week we celebrate Malik Padaway from men's basketball and Alex Tonge from men's hockey. Senior forward Malik Padaway finished up non-conference play with a double-double in the Colonials' huge blowout against Hood on Saturday, with 18 points and 10 rebounds. He shot .889 from the field, helping the Colonials achieve their second highest field goal percentage in program history. Senior forward Alex Tonge scored 2 goals in the Colonials' 3-1 win over AIC on Sunday, with his 7th and 8th goals of the season. Tonge's game winner came just 8 seconds into the third period on a breakaway and puts him 6th place on the program's all-time scoring list. Congratulations to our Student Athletes of the Week. For more, visit rmucolonials.com and remember to use the hashtag #ColonialPride.
Here at the RMU Island Sports Center, I'm Matt Geica with head coach Derek Schooley. Time to talk pucks once again. It's the Men's Hockey Weekly and an important week, Coach, with the Three Rivers Classic coming up. But before we get to that, you come off the holiday break with a split at AIC up in Massachusetts. You scored 3 goals in both of those games, too, against the second-place team. Feel like that's a pretty positive outcome to start the second half?
Well, I thought we were really good to open our first game. I thought we were really good, and as the game went on, I thought they took it to us a little bit. And then in the third period, they were it was back to an even game again, and they got a bounce at the end, and we didn't get a penalty kill that we needed right down the stretch. And good hockey game, good first weekend out. We got a nice. I think we kind of stole the game with 17 shots on goal. Francis Murat was outstanding. I thought Luke Lynch and Alex Tonge were big-time leaders for us offensively, and big-time play by the two of them and Eric Israel to get us the game-winning goal. So, yeah, you're always happy to go on the road and get a split, and we got to be ready to go here, and we got to continue to get better.
Yeah, this is different this week. Typically, with the Classic, it's right after the holiday. This time you get 2 games, maybe get your feet back under you in game action. Alex Tonge seemed to think on Sunday that was an advantage. How do you feel about it as a coach?
Well, it's a weird time because you got New Year's and New Year's Day and all thrown in the mix, and then we're coming back, and you've got some really quality teams coming in, and the Browns playing very well right now. They just beat Army. You got St. Cloud, #1 in the nation, and hockey teams that are coming into the Three Rivers Classic. So hope
it's a short week, but like you said, it's one thing that you look forward to every year, no doubt about it, with this tournament.
Well, I think the energy is going to pick up as the week goes on. We've got the banquet, and the teams are going to start coming into town, and you're going to see Union practicing here at our rink and tomorrow, and then you got the banquet on Thursday. And so I think it's one of those things. I think as the week goes on, the energy is going to pick up, and we know this is always a big deal for our university and for us in the hockey community in the city of Pittsburgh. So I think the energy is going to get going, and we had a really good practice today, and we had get our legs adjusted after a day off on New Year's Day. So tomorrow will be also a good day, and as I said, we'll get the energy cranked up as the weekend goes on.
You've won the Confluence Cup 3 out of 6 times. This tournament has been competed. You've joked after a couple of the wins that it might be tough to get some quality teams in here because they're afraid of getting upset, but you did it again. You do have, like you mentioned, with Union and St. Cloud State, 2 ranked opponents, and Brown coming off a nice win. How much of a point of pride is that for you as a program to keep bringing these strong fields into Pittsburgh?
Well, you want to keep having these good exposing college hockey to people and the fans, and get top-ranked teams coming in. And you never know where they're going to be ranked when you get them, but you always want to try to get teams that have great histories and have done very well. St. Cloud was #1 in the nation last year, going into the NCAA tournament, so you knew that they were going to have a strong team. Union's always been strong. They won the national championship. Brown's got the history and the pedigree of an Ivy League school, so you knew when we scheduled these that there'd be a chance for them to be good hockey teams, and here we are getting a top 15 team and a #1 team in the nation.
RMU will open up against Brown in the Classic up at the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex in Cranberry. That'll be the nightcap on Friday, as it'll be St. Cloud State and Union at 5 o'clock. Colonials and Brown for the first time ever in the two teams' respective histories at 8, and then we'll see how things shake out for the consolation and the championship games at PPG Paints Arena on Saturday. For Coach Schooley, I'm Matt Geica. We'll talk to you next time.
Man, you've got a lot going on, and you're making it happen. But you still need to eat. You need takeout. Eat and Park is the answer. A huge menu that everyone can agree on, no matter what you're hungry for. Easy online ordering to get the order right, and get it the way you want it. Plus, fast and easy pickup windows, so you can get your order and stay in your car. Eat and Park for takeout. Quick, easy, delicious.
Today you bought breakfast for your team using Apple Pay. Today you used Clearview's mobile app with Touch ID and Bill Payer to pay your bills, leaving you more time to train for that 5K. And today you used Mobile Deposit to safely deposit a check from home without a trip to a branch. At Clearview Federal Credit Union, technology that saves time, makes time for more important things. Clearview Federal Credit Union, the next generation of personal banking.
I was always fairly into education. I took it serious, and I'd always thought about the additional education, but I just never really thought I'd have the time to do it.
My dad and my brother got their MBA before I did, so they always said that they were in the Masters Club and I wasn't in it. So then when I finished mine, Joe wasn't in the club, so he felt the need to join our club.
So I'm trying to balance this work and school and home life, and then we find out in October that we're expecting a baby. It's just going to be a whole new adventure and just a lot of exciting things going on in our life.
Tootsie's Diner. Restaurant. Here.
Israel and Alex Robert on defense and Francis Marat in goal. So Eber back up centering that top unit, Mike. And Tommy Marchand, the captain for the Brown Bears, will play left wing on the first line, sent out by Brown with Joachim Wieberg and Chris Berger. Also lining up to take the opening faceoff, Max Gottlieb, the defensive captain, will start off on the ice, and Enea Ferrerio will play as well to get things going, and we're underway with the goaltender for Brown, Gavin Nieto, in net for the Bears.
Brown wasting no time, dumping it in. We're going to see a lot of that tonight, Tim.
Eber gets back on the back check, goes behind his defensive end line. Marat going from post to post, watching as the action goes from low to high. Shot comes in for a bad angle, goes off the side of the net. Robert Morris attempting its first clear. Funky bounce off this glass, and there'll be some nuances like that, Mike, and there's some more live action after a icing here to start for Robert Morris. A clear that got a little too hot too fast, as maybe some of the dashers are a little bit more quick than what the Colonials expect and are used to at the Allen Sports Center.
You mentioned Nieto in net. He lost to number 18 Clarkson 3-2, and to number 18 Cornell, and number 17 Clarkson 5-1. The other guy, Luke Kania, has been really good of late, but he doesn't have any wins this season.
Israel almost turned over the puck behind his own end line. Tanj comes away with it, however. He'll try to create a little room and skate out, but boy, Brown has been pesky here on the forecheck and really bothersome as RMU is having trouble breaking the puck out here in its first two touches.
Yeah, it's going to be decision-making for Brown here. They're attacking, and if they think they can get to the puck on a dump-in or get a hit on a dump-in, they'll attack. If they don't, they'll fall back and try to gum things up in the neutral zone.
Immediately rerouted back to the offensive end to give Brown time for a change. Luke Lynch will try to skate it out instead of pass it out this time. Runs into a wall of three Brown Bears right at the scorer's table. This one is able to enter the offensive zone clean. That allows Bentenuto to take a shot from at the far left wing boards. Second chance coming from Nick Jenny. That goes behind the goaltender Nieto, who has a brother who has committed to Union after RMU recruited him a bit. Instead, he goes to Union.
Good choice based on that first game.
And Brown's goalie will really challenge. He likes to come high out of the crease, and the RMU skaters have been drilled already. When you're on the attack, make a move. And a turnover here for Lalonde. He's got an opportunity. Shot goes off the post. Just burped up right on the stick of Lalonde. A golden chance for him, and he misses the first real scoring opportunity for Robert Morris. Then Lalonde is tripped up, no call, gets back on his skates. Bentenuto working hard to get the puck back, and Brown will try to calm things down. A clear occurs from Dorian Dawson, and Brown will try to regroup after this line change.
And Nick Lalonde with 3 goals this year and a golden opportunity for a fourth, but that's the way it's been going for RMU a little too often this year, Tim, just not being able to finish.
Rick Bodwin with some trouble stick handling in front of the RMU bench. Enters the offensive zone anyway for Brown. Hits off the right wing boards. Gottlieb gets a little glove in the mush there from Loria. Some words for him. Loria was trying the Sidney Crosby McDonald's M stick handling drill earlier, Mike, in the warm-ups. I think he kind of dialed it down a bit from what we're seeing from Sid usually.
Does that mean he has to give a stick away if somebody heckles him?
Right. I don't know who's going to heckle him on that side since there are no fans. Wait, no, he'll be on this side. Never mind if he's in the penalty box, right? Because Sid was in the box, right?
Yeah.
Not on the bench. All right.
I mentioned the goalies a minute ago. Luke Kania was in the net for that 3-1 loss against Providence back on December the 29th. He made 41 saves and allowed just 2 goals. He was also in the net for the tie against Union back on December the 7th. But The guy that's in the net tonight's the guy who's got the 3 wins for Brown.
Justin Jallin showing off his speed, diagonally skating all the way through the neutral zone, tracked down a puck, comes back to Gudakis. Back in the lineup now for the Colonials, bats it down on top of the right face-off circle. Perkusic tried to maintain control. Good check from Coyne, who jumped on into the offensive zone, jars the puck free, but Brown in possession anyway. Getting around Gudakis for an entry, it's Zach Guttari.
And now you see all the Brown players converging as they get a hit and almost create a turnover.
One of the more dangerous skaters, Tristan Crozier. Shot comes in and goes off Murat, now comes back out, is pinching down the wall. Joe McGuire, the Dix Hills, New York native, on defense, getting aggressive here. More possession time behind the net. We've seen a lot of that from Brown so far already. Watt waits for a meandering puck, gets it out to Horseman on the wing. The 4th line out here for the first time for the Colonials. Alex Robert, delicate pass comes to Hebert. He comes in 3-on-3 for the Colonials, makes a couple moves, turns a shot over, rebound chance. Did it go in? It did! That's a goal for the Colonials. It looks like Hebert's celebrating, and they'll give it to him. He doesn't throw away his shot, and the Colonials get the first goal of the game. It's 1-0 RMU.
Yeah, Hebert doing a nice job just attacking the net, using his leverage, his size, and his reach. And it wasn't necessarily a quick play, but it was a steady play. He progressed himself right to the edge of the crease, and the initial shot didn't go in, but there was no whistle. They poke, they jam, they score. Colonials lead it 1-0.
At the 16:03 mark for Hebert, that is goal number 3 and point number 5 on this campaign for the freshman from St. Andrews, Ontario. And Hebert's been banged up a little bit, been up and down the lineup, and that's starting to put it together here as we've gone beyond the halfway point of the season.
Yeah, I would concur on both counts.
Another chance for him. Great feed by Lynch. Good save, though, by Nieto.
He has been up and down the lineup, and I do think there's more in him, and so do the coaches. We've seen 2 guys. We talked earlier tonight about how the Colonials have been a little challenged in terms of creating scoring opportunities and finishing. We already saw Nick Lalonde have a great chance and not finish it. That's a guy they think can do a little bit more. Hebert falls into the same category, and he's off to a good start tonight.
False start on the draw, so we'll do it again.
You want everybody to do a little bit more in the second half, but there are some guys with more potential than others to actually be able to deliver. And Lalonde and Hebert are 2 of them.
Dropping to his knees to try to win the faceoff is Hebert, controlled by Brown, though. Chipping and chasing himself is Trey Dodd. Attempting a spinning shot, not able to get around the forehand is Miller. Attempts to take a funky bounce off of Murat, and the rebound sat there until he threw the trapper down. Taj apologizes for not picking that one up and taps Murat on the pads.
Yeah, it's twice now we've seen Brown dump it and really get after it. And the decision has been the correct one both times. First time resulted in a turnover but no shot. That one resulted in a turnover and a scoring opportunity.
Scary opportunity there for Alec Mayer, the sophomore from Los Angeles. A couple California kids on this team for Brown. We'll take a look at that a little bit later on.
Well, if you're from California, why wouldn't you want to go live in Providence?
Nice 2-line pass here from Mentenuto. Runs out of real estate, though. Stick lift from behind by Guttari. Goes over the stick of Sean Giles, and Nick Jenny will follow up to help out his fellow defenseman. DDD pass to Giles. Looks to get it in the neutral zone. Adamo will come in offensively. Mentenuto sees it go right by him. A dump in by the aforementioned Trey Dodd, and we'll get a line change for Brown behind the play. Caught by Shu and dropped down into the offensive zone. Lalonde stick battle with Crozier. Takes a couple whacks to try to get it free. Goes under the stick of Adamo, but into the offensive end anyway. Hustling back is Dorian Dawson for the Bears. Did you get the assist on that?
Yeah, just one. Alex Robert, speaking of guys who could do a little more offensively, he gets the helper at 3:57.
Brown wanted a penalty there. Might have had a case as the speedy Justin Jallin got around Schaefer. Long shot from Loria, caught easily by the goaltender Nieto. Will get a face-off to his glove side.
Talked about the decisions Brown's going to have to make on the dumps, whether to chase it or whether to sit back. The Colonials are going to have to make decisions going through the neutral zone and approaching the Brown blue line. Brown has a tendency to sag back when it's not charging hard. And Tim, if the Colonials see Brown giving up the blue line, they're going to try to take it and create from there.
Michelin waits for the faceoff to come back to him. Has it way deep in the right point. Fires through traffic. caught again by Nieto as it came off his chest protector. McAlean somehow guided that one through on net, and the shot total already 6-0 in favor of the Colonials.
And that's what the Colonials want from McAlean. They want him getting pucks to the net. He doesn't have a great shot, but he's got a pretty good one, and they think he can do at least that a little more consistently. He had some net front shenanigans from Loria there. Pretty good opportunity.
The dangerous Tommy Marchin in the left corner, bodied by McAlean. Takes it away from him in the trapezoid that exists here on the practice sheet for the Pittsburgh Penguins. D-to-D pass comes over now to Schaefer. Breakout to Coleman, who had his back turned to the red line. Weberg pokes it back into the offensive zone for Brown.
Well, you and I spend a lot of time in this building. This is more fun than watching a practice.
Perkusic, long shot. Oh, goes off the wrist of Nieto into the corner. Yeah, to that point, Mike, I can't tell you how many times we've seen practices up here, and you just think about it immediately differently when you're calling the game. I could watch 50 practices here and not notice the netting. Now it's all I'm looking at. I feel like I'm staring through a cheesecloth or something to watch this game.
Now you get used to it.
Tipped in by Horseman, followed up by Coyne. Defenseman back to get it is Guattari. Coyne, a little jousting match there with Alex Brink. Brink kicks at it, has it on the backhand, and works it into the right corner. Action slowing down here for Brown as they're being methodical in the offensive end. That, of course, is the scouting report on them. Almost like a, I don't know, Mike, would you say it's a little like a watered-down New Jersey Devils approach without the trapping?
Yeah. I wouldn't say there's an extra gear.
Long shot by Coyne, along the ice, but it missed the net just outside of the right post. Gerdukas, D-to-D pass, shot in. Another save by Nieto with the glove, and we'll step aside for our first timeout of the first period. It's 1-0 RMU. 12:37 left to go in the first here on ESPN Pittsburgh. Tim Benz, Mike Pursuta here on the RMU Hockey Network. We're talking about the nuances, the differences here and there for both of these buildings that we'll be in between PPG Paints Arena and the Lemieux Sports Complex, as well as what we're used to seeing down at the Island Sports Center. Another difference besides the netting that we're looking through, Mike, the band.
Right on the glass.
They're right on the glass. Imagine that's easy for them to blow their horns right into the plexiglass and have the sound come right back at them, right?
Yeah, that might have a residual effect later. I want to aim those horns up a little bit.
That's the first thing we thought of when we were hearing where the band was going to be placed. First of all, they're crowded together sort of like we are, and they don't have the room to spread out like they normally do. They're normally in that corner where the Colonials shoot twice at the Island Sports Center.
Good news is it wasn't a very far road trip.
No, not at all. Much more so the case for St. Cloud, and they're angry after losing that first game. Block shot for Robert Morris. Hebert's got the lone goal of the game so far. Chugs through the neutral zone. Goes off of Baudouin, and a couple players tied up right now. Lots of pushing and shoving afterwards. It's Hebert who's tied up, and now Dodd is going to go to the penalty box as Francis Marat gets the signal to come over. That just got too much extracurricular there, Mike, from Dodd, and it's going to result in power play. The first one, Lynch applies a hit. Dodd goes down immediately thereafter. Pass in front on a backhand. Now it's touched by Brown. His shoe will finally draw the whistle, and the first power play of the game goes to the Colonials, already up 1-0.
What great look by Hebert, though, as he got the puck to the slot, and unfortunately the Colonials couldn't finish it, but a nice scoring chance with the extra man. Looks like it's going to be 2 for roughing, and the time of that penalty is going to be 8:09.
Oh, Hebert's imprinted all 3 of his shifts thus far, hasn't he? He looks like he's got some extra jump tonight.
Yeah, almost on cue. We talked about him as one of the guys that they think they can get a little more from in the second half of the season, and they're going to frankly need a little more from.
He stays in the power play right now with Mentanudo and Perkusic up front. Lalonde and Robert will man the points. Center point, Lalonde now out top of the right circle to Mentanudo. Walks in, pass in front, deflection from Perkusic. Goes outside of the right post. Good eyes there for Mentanudo to line up Perkusic, who got a good solid deflection there, just a little bit too wide. Perkusic stops, starts, gets in motion, pass in front to Hebert to score. Great feed, Perkusic. Better shot by Hebert in the eye of the hurricane. It's 2-0 Colonials, and Hebert's got both.
He is well on his way tonight, and the Colonials, no doubt, happy to see it as a great release. And he's doing it all tonight, Tim. He's skating with the puck. He's looking for teammates. He's distributing. He's shooting the puck. And not even halfway through the first period, he's 2/3 of the way to the HT. 2-0 Colonials. What a start.
Make it 6 points and 4 goals for Hebert. Fantastic assist there from Perkusic, his 8th point and 4th assist. Long backhand from Tanj somehow made it through the defenseman in front of the goal. Ferrario, and it almost went in on net. Now a delayed penalty coming up against Robert Morris as Nieto streaks to the bench. Long shot goes over Marat, rockets off the end glass. Still in possession, Brown. Jenny trying to touch up the puck to draw the penalty. Instead, Gottlieb has it, makes a move, deflects off of Tanj into the netting, and Brown will answer with its own power play here. Looks like Lynch is going to go into the penalty box with a trip. And Lynch talking to the official all the way in, still debating his case, and that's not going to work as O'Brien gives the second call of a trip just to emphasize his point.
9:06 the time of that penalty, so now we'll see that Brown power play in action, Tim. That 3 for 39, 7.7% man advantage unit.
RMU's PK has been good, 74 of 88 on the season. That's in the top 20 of the country, 16 in fact, 84.1%. And a chance here from Loria. Deflects a D-to-D pass. He comes in 1-on-2 short-handed, tries a backhand forehand move, still drifts towards Nieto, who swats it away. So Loria doesn't get a clean shot off, but that was similar to how Jake Coleman got his short-handed goal against AIC in the second game last weekend.
Yeah, and a pretty aggressive play, much as we discussed, that you might be able to take some chances against these guys.
Israel jumps in after Berger couldn't handle a pass. Mentanudo tries to take it away from Marchand. Instead, Bergen will enter 1-on-3. Easily knocked out by Robert. Israel takes some time, rag the puck, now fire it off the glass in the first clear for RMU. Down to the 10:07 mark in the first period. The Colonials up 2-0 in the first. A little bit of a late start here, scheduled for 8, got underway at about 8:15 after the first game, saw 9 goals and a big fracas at the end of the game, so that took a little time.
Yeah, St. Cloud will channel that fracas energy into its effort tomorrow night, I guarantee you.
Bodwin walled into the boards, and a clear here by Brandon Watt as it goes the length of the ice. And got a goalie change here, Mike, as Kania has been put in during the last time out after the second goal was allowed. So Brown making a goalie change. Give you the numbers on Kania in just a little bit. Going through the slot, Jalen. Now over to McGuire. Shot comes in front, deflected off of Marat. Second opportunity, still whacked out. Nice work by Schaefer to push away the would-be goal scorer there as Baldwin had a chance as Schaefer comes in and bodies him away. Now marching through the neutral zone is Tanj. With 8 seconds left on the power play. Short-handed, Tanj tries a shot, followed up by Coleman. Defended by Crozier. Power play is over. Lynch on the ice, skates all the way over to the other side, and look at a change here as the fourth line comes out after the PK is successful.
Kania 0-3-2. We told you he had the good games, the tie against Union and the near miss against Providence. 2.36 goals against, .919 save percentage. Both of those numbers better than Gavin Nieto, but Nieto has played a little more often. He's 3-4-1.
Coyne got in offside. It's going to be a delay here. Couldn't stop himself. Looks over to the bench and apologizes. Comes off. Horseman has to hurry to get over as well to make this line change clean. Finally, Watt does the honors too, and Adamo will get on. The Colonials had to make sure they didn't get too many men there. Had to be very fastidious about that change. as it was a little stagger going on and off the ice.
Well, when did they sneak that new goalie in? I was so excited about Grant Abraham looking up numbers.
I think they must have done it either right after the goal or right before the power play.
He has played well. We talked about that great game, 41 save effort against Providence. That's a real good Providence team. And a 2-1 loss with an empty netter thrown in to make it 3-1.
Damo showing his strength to shove Dorian Dawson to the ice and maintain puck possession in the offensive end here. A little bit more zone time as a result of that until it hops over the stick of Gerdukis. Chance coming now for Colin Burston. Gets it over to Brink. Intercepted by Gerdukis. Pass misses Adamo. Now in front of the RMU bench. Lalonde with some puck support for Adamo. They'll swap out for a new set of troops, and Brown will do the same on defense at least. Near interception here by Luke Lynch. Shoved from behind as Berger took a hit right in front of the UPMC logo on the RMU door. Comes over to Shears, getting his first action on the ice as the extra defenseman for Brown. Lynch loses an edge, now gets back up. Long entry comes in as Guattari goes over and comes to the bench after getting that entry pass. Turnover here by the Colonials. Shot goes wide of Marat though. Followed up and falling down is Joachim Weberg from Oslo, Norway.
The two-man forecheck's giving RMU a little bit of difficulty.
Lynch all by himself, coming down the right wing. Gets over to the forehand, poke checked at the last moment before he got a shot off. Retrieves the puck though anyway behind the end line. Comes to Tanj, goes off his skate, can't get a clean shot. Giles decides to go over and change out for Eric Israel. Pass goes behind Marchin. Now Israel comes in 2-on-3 with Hebert. Try to get it to him. He's been all over the ice to start this game, mainly in the offensive end. 4 shifts, 2 goals. The other 2 are pretty solid as well. Colonials will set up the breakout as Coleman is the deep man. Comes in front of Robert and leaves it for him. Breakout way too hot off of Israel. That was a hard breakout pass. Turned over and down. Almost had a shot in on Marat.
Yeah, tipped from between the circles and it just went wide.
Sloppy exit there. Shu couldn't keep it in the offensive end though for the Bears.
And here they come with the two-man forecheck again.
Bodwin coming in on Robert. One of them falls down though. That was Bodwin. Hurries to get back on his skates.
A little cleaner that time, just a wrap around the wall.
And this is offsides against Robert Morris. 5:49 left to go in the first period. 2-0 Colonials in front of the Bears here on ESPN Pittsburgh.
Today you bought breakfast for your team using Apple Pay. Today you used Clearview's mobile app with Touch ID and Bill Payer to pay your bills, leaving you more time to train for that 5K. And today you used Mobile Deposit to safely deposit a check from home without a trip to a branch. At Clearview Federal Credit Union, technology that saves time, makes time for more important things. Clearview Federal Credit Union, the next generation of personal banking.
Can't get enough of your favorite Colonial teams? Follow RMU Athletics on social media at RMU Athletics on Twitter, RMU Athletics on Instagram, and be sure to like our page on Facebook at Robert Morris University Athletics. Go Colonials!
No goals or 1 goal. They're 0-4 this year. When they get 2, they're 2-3-1, and if they can get 1 more, that gets them to 3. Robert Morris is 6-2-0 when it gets at least 3 goals.
Chatling coming out through the neutral zone, takes a check right along the red line, comes over to Laurie now, swatted at in the air. Perkusic comes in, offensively long shot, turned away by Kenya into the corner.
Good quick release by Perkusic that time in the slot.
Now Perkusic shoved into the far left corner in front of the band. Comes out now to Jenny. Knocked in front by Maloney. Shot dribbles right in front of the pads of Barat. Now it's bounced and knocked down and thrown up into the air. Now falls back behind the end line to Jenny. Long exit, bounces off the ground or off the ice and then hits right off the right boards. Coyne swats at it to knock it back down. Crozier tries to play it. Long breakout coming for Marchand, tipped over to Berger as Brown comes to the offensive end. Marchand turning pass over to Berger. Taken by Coyne. Good defense in the neutral zone by Marchand, working hard to get it back on his blade. Now Marchand goes around into the right circle over to Giles, who takes it away. Another penalty coming here. Horseman touches up. Murat streaks over to the net. Watt offensively now leaves it for Horseman. Horseman shoved aside. And now we got the whistles. It's touched up by Brown. We'll get a second power play after an interference call against the Bears. It'll be Marchand who comes in and goes into the box. And we've got a tight media timeout here back to back. We'll be back with the power play. 2-0 RMU, looking for more with the man up when we return on ESPN Pittsburgh. Captain for the forwards anyway, and this is the second man-up opportunity for RMU after Hebert got the first 2 goals and got a power play goal in the second one.
Yeah, they get a little too aggressive play by Marchand. There was a turnover by Watt. Marchand drove the net, but he lost the puck and he ran into Francis Murat, which you can't do when the goaltender is in the blue paint. So Marchand goes for goaltender interference, and here comes that RMU power play again.
Long cross corner dump in, now out to Lalonde, who comes in over the blue line. Drop pass goes for Montenuto. Kicked up and now into the Penguin logo. Percusic will come in offensively. And a clear for Brown, and they'll get a partial change on the PK.
Down to 1-13 on the man advantage. Robert Moore struggling to get set up in the Brown end.
Lalonde drops it for Hebert. We'll step around here. Hebert goes over to the far side. Pass comes over now for Robert right on top of the center point area. Robert return pass goes over to Lalonde. Lalonde through the slot goes to Montenuto. Montenuto feeding it back over. Shot comes. Good save there by Kenya. And now a clear for Brown.
Good save by Kenya, although I thought Montenuto, maybe for the first time all night, passed up a pretty good look.
Goalie with a chance here for the assist as Murat gets all the way down to Lynch, but his shot goes off the end glass, and now we got a whistle behind the play. Did you see what that was, Mike?
I did not, but it looks like the faceoff's coming outside the Brown end.
Is that a late call on an offsides or what there?
Or maybe the puck deflected up into the netting off an RMU stick. Not sure.
Okay, all right. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah. Colonial's got a good look on that last one, but if Montenuto takes the first shot, maybe there's a rebound available. One way to generate more offense is to get more pucks on that. I think they've been doing a very good job for the most part tonight on decisions such as those. But sometimes when you're on that power play, boy, there's a temptation to make that extra pass, isn't there?
Israel misses Tanj, so we'll get those two on the points now.
Ask Phil Kessel.
Loria allows the drop pass for Tanj to come back his way. Now Tanj goes over to the left circle, loses it, and Brown tries to clear the puck, and they will. Good work there from Alex Brink.
Down to under 10 seconds now until Brown regains full strength.
Israel gives it to Loria, who comes down the right wing boards. Lynch to Israel. Steps through some traffic here from Weberg. Shot goes off the post. Hard off the post. Comes right back into the corner. Support from Loria. Trying another opportunity. Hops over Israel's stick as he was looking for a third.
Alone.
Now a breakout chance for Marchand, who came out of the box. But fanning on it was Berger. And that allows the Colonials to get their power play unit off for the most part and get the fourth line out there with 2:07 left to go and a 2-0 lead for the Colonials.
Israel alone in the slot, but couldn't control the pass and get a shot on net. Which makes that a scoring opportunity as opposed to a scoring chance.
Right, which is big difference in minutia and verbiage, but to the coaches it matters.
Well, you know, you're getting the puck to where you want to get it on the ice, and you're getting it to a guy you want to get it to in that spot. It just didn't work out that time.
1:50 left to go as the neutral zone face-off will feature Coyne as it's won backwards by Bodwin. Kicked at by Horseman. Now over to the far side, backhand pass comes to Watt, shot comes in, and now it's fought for a moment, but Kania is able to jump on it in the paint.
Boy, really good play by Horseman there, not only to knock the clearing pass down and control the loose puck, but a backhand pass to Watt, breaking down between the circles, and unfortunately for Watt, the Brown defense converts very quickly on him, and he didn't get much of a look, but Colonials almost turned nothing into something really special there.
Play back to the left point. Giles attempts a pass that misses Horseman's stick. Out behind the goal line, Watt over to Coyne. Horseman a little pushing and shoving here. He falls down, and that allows a Brown entry into at least the neutral zone area. Misses Shearer as Coyne comes back in offensively for Robert Morris. Kenya puts the glove down and makes the save.
That sequence dictated by Watt, who was chasing from behind. Back pressure in the neutral zone, and sometimes you don't have to get there, Tim. If you've got a little reach, you can reach out. And he poked the puck off the stick of the Brown player from behind, and the Colonials were able to transition and get another offensive zone fail tonight in just about all situations. Couple hiccups coming out of the RMU end on that aggressive forecheck, but other than that, pretty smooth.
Turning shot from Berkusik goes off a shin pad, and Brown comes with some speed. Missing the intended target, though, on the entry for Trey Dodd. Now a counter by Robert Morris. Coleman does battle here with Gottlieb. Good check applied by Nick Berkusik. Goes off of Gessert, and he'll leave the ice, and the rest of the unit will stay on as they pressure the forecheck. Comes over to Coleman. Gets across his own blue line. Floats it in the air over Gottlieb. Mentenuto backhands it. Now Alex Robert will fall back and watch as Weberg comes in offensively, leaving it for Brink. Now over to Israel, who goes behind the end line. And it bounces off the dasher and falls back down towards Gottlieb. Two-line pass, clips off the stick of Marchin. And I guess he didn't touch it there, as it'll result in an icing as Murat puts the glove up, and we'll get an offensive zone face-off here for Robert Morris. 17 seconds left to go and a 2-goal lead. Shots on goal advantage 15-4 for the Colonials. As Eber, who's at the magic touch, gets back on the ice again here for one more offensive zone draw. Lynch will be in the trigger position. Tries to scurry over and get a forehand shot off. Couldn't lift the puck. It rolls a little bit here as Zach Guittari is able to get it into the offensive zone with 8 seconds left to go. Maybe one more rush here for the Colonials, but it's turned over before they can leave the zone. Drop pass shot comes from Shu. Deflected, misses the net, and there the horn sounds. So after the first 20 minutes of play, Robert Morris got to be happy with that period. 2-0 the score. 15-5 the shots on goal advantage. Plenty more when we come back as we roll on here on the UPMC Sports Medicine Intermission Report. Colonials lead 2-0 on ESPN Pittsburgh.
Can't get enough of your favorite Colonial sports? Follow RMU Athletics on social media at RMU Athletics on Twitter, RMU Athletics on Instagram, and be sure to like our page on Facebook at Robert Morris University Athletics. Go Colonials! Hey there, Colonial fans! It's time to meet our Student Athletes of the Week, sponsored by People's Gas. This week we celebrate Malik Padaway from men's basketball and Alex Tonge from men's hockey. Senior forward Malik Padaway finished up non-conference play with a double-double in the Colonials' huge blowout against Hood on Saturday, with 18 points and 10 rebounds. He shot .889 from the field, helping the Colonials achieve their second highest field goal percentage in program history. Senior forward Alex Tonge scored 2 goals in the Colonials' 3-1 win over AIC on Sunday, with his 7th and 8th goals of the season. Tonja's game winner came just 8 seconds into the third period on a breakaway and puts him 6th place on the program's all-time scoring list. Congratulations to our Student Athletes of the Week. For more, visit rmucolonials.com and remember to use the hashtag Colonial Pride.
Here at the RMU Island Sports Center, I'm Matt Geica with head coach Derek Schooley. Time to talk pucks once again. It's the Men's Hockey Weekly and an important week, coach, with the Three Rivers Classic coming up. But before we get to that, you come off the holiday break with a split at AIC up in Massachusetts. You scored 3 goals in both of those games, too, against the second-place team. Feel like that's a pretty positive outcome to start the second half?
Well, I thought we were really good to open our first game. I thought we were really good, and as the game went on, I thought they took it to us a little bit. And in the third period, they were it was back to an even game again, and they got a bounce at the end, and we didn't get a penalty kill that we needed right down the stretch. And good hockey game, good first weekend out. We got a nice. I think we kind of stole a game with 17 shots on goal. Francis Murat was outstanding. I thought Luke Lynch and Alex Tonge were big-time leaders for us offensively, and big-time play by the two of them and Eric Israel to get us the game-winning goal. So, yeah, you're always happy to go on the road and get a split, and we got to be ready to go here, and we got to continue to get better.
Yeah, this is different this week. Typically, with the Classic, it's right after the holiday. This time you get 2 games, maybe get your feet back under you in game action. Alex Tonge seemed to think on Sunday that was an advantage. How do you feel about it as a coach?
Well, it's a weird time because you got New Year's and New Year's Day and all thrown in the mix, and then we're coming back, and you've got some really quality teams coming in, and Brown's playing very well right now. They just beat Army. You got St. Cloud, #1 in the nation, and then you got Union that's been consistent in the top 15 all year. So these are some good hockey teams that are coming into the Three Rivers Classic. So hopefully we can continue the success we've had in this tournament, because it's always fun for our guys, our student athletes, and we're ready to go, hopefully.
Yeah, what's the energy like on a week like this? It's a short week, but like you said, it's one thing that you look forward to every year, no doubt about it, with this tournament.
I think the energy is going to pick up as the week goes on. We've got the banquet, and the teams are going to start coming into town, and you're going to see Union practicing here at our rink and tomorrow, and then you got the banquet on Thursday. And so I think it's one of those things. I think as the week goes on, the energy is going to pick up, and we know this is always a big deal for our university and for us in the hockey community in the city of Pittsburgh. So I think the energy is going to get going, and we had a really good practice today, and we had get our legs adjusted after a day off on New Year's Day. So tomorrow will be also a good day, and as I said, we'll get the energy cranked up as the weekend goes on.
You've won the Confluence Cup 3 out of 6 times. This tournament has been competed. You've joked after a couple of the wins that it might be tough to get some quality teams in here because they're afraid of getting upset, but you did it again. You do have, like you mentioned, with Union and St. Cloud State, 2 ranked opponents, and Brown coming off a nice win. How much of a point of pride is that for you as a program to keep bringing these strong fields into Pittsburgh?
Well, you want to keep having these good exposing college hockey to people and the fans, and get top-ranked teams coming in. And you never know where they're going to be ranked when you get them, but you always want to try to get teams that have great histories and have done very well. St. Cloud was #1 in the nation last year going into the NCAA tournament, so you knew that they were going to have a strong team. Union's always been strong. They won the national championship. Brown's got the history and the pedigree of an Ivy League school, so you knew when we scheduled these that there'd be a chance for them to be good hockey teams, and here we are getting a top 15 team and a #1 team in the nation.
RMU will open up against Brown in the Classic up at the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex in Cranberry. That'll be the nightcap on Friday, as it'll be St. Cloud State and Union at 5 o'clock. Colonials and Brown for the first time ever in the 2 teams' respective histories at 8, and then we'll see how things shake out for the consolation and the championship games at PPG Paints Arena on Saturday. For Coach Schooley, I'm Matt Geica. We'll talk to you next time.
Man, you've got a lot going on, and you're making it happen. But you still need to eat. You need takeout. Eat & Park is the answer. A huge menu that everyone can agree on, no matter what you're hungry for. Easy online ordering to get the order right, and get it the way you want it. Plus, fast and easy pickup windows, so you can get your order and stay in your car. Eaton Park for takeout. Quick, easy, delicious.
Today you bought breakfast for your team using Apple Pay. Today you used Clearview's mobile app with Touch ID and Bill Payer to pay your bills, leaving you more time to train for that 5K. And today you used Mobile Deposit to safely deposit a check from home without a trip to a branch. At Clearview Federal Credit Union, technology that saves time, makes time for more important things. Clearview Federal Credit Union, the next generation of personal banking.
I was always fairly into education. I took it serious, and I'd always thought about the additional education, but I just never really thought I'd have the time to do it.
My dad and my brother got their MBA before I did, so they always said that they were in the master's club and I wasn't in it. So then when I finished mine, Joe wasn't in the club, so he felt the need to join our club.
So I'm trying to balance this work and school and home life, and then we find out in October that we're expecting a baby. It's just going to be a whole new adventure and just a lot of exciting things going on in our life.
Here at the RMU Island Sports Center, ready for the Three Rivers Classic. I'm Matt Geica, talking to senior captain Brandon Watt. And Brandon, a short week coming off the trip to AIC where you guys split. Do you feel like that's maybe a good thing because you can keep that momentum going?
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to get a couple of games in early as soon as we came back from break. Nice to get our legs under us, especially after we had a little bit of a longer break over Christmas this year. So, you know, usually like we play the Three Rivers as soon as we get back. So I think the trip to AAC definitely helped us get back into the swing of things before we start the tourney.
I was talking to Alex Tonge after the Sunday game up there in Massachusetts. He said he thought it might be an advantage to get those two games and feel like you're back in the swing of things. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, in the past years we came back and those were the first games we've played, especially playing teams from out of conference. You know, it's always kind of a different game, so it was nice to get down to Springfield for a road trip and get a couple of games under us.
So far this season, including out there at Springfield, it's been a very successful defensive season for your team. It's a departure from what the Colonials are used to being about. Why do you think the D has been such a lockdown factor this year?
I think it all starts with our goalie, Frankie. You know, sometimes I think this year we haven't exactly found a way to score goals like we have in the past. So in order to win hockey games when you're not putting up, 4 or 5 goals a game, is playing sound defensively. And I think down the stretch it's certainly going to help us as long as we continue to find ways to score goals. I think our power play is starting to click a little bit more now. So the fact that we can bear down defensively will definitely help us down the stretch.
It's been a different type of a season for you, obviously, as team captain. That's an increased responsibility, but also you had some injuries to battle through too. So how do you feel where you're at emotionally, or how have you kept your confidence up as now you're working your way back into things?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of been the same way for the past 2 years for me, battling some injuries. But, I think it's been good that the coaches have supported me the whole time, and, the teammates have helped me keep my confidence up. Kind of sad to say, but I guess I'm kind of used to it by now, just working my way back in and trying to find my legs and whatnot, especially coming off an injury.
Now, last thing for you, the Three Rivers Classic, you've been on the winning side, and you've also seen another team hoist the Confluence Cup. How important is this weekend? Because it's right in the middle of the season, it's not Atlantic hockey play, but you get a chance to put your skills and your team's ability on display for the entire nation, really.
I think it's cool. It's definitely a good experience for us. We get to play teams that we don't normally see, especially teams coming from out of conference. And I think it's also a huge turning point in the season too. The first 2 years we were able to win, which was nice, and it kind of brought our team closer. And even last year we kind of learned a little bit about our team. And I think the past 3 years, this tournament really kind of defined who we were in terms of bringing us all together for the stretch drive.
So come see the Colonials, Lemieux Sports Complex in Cranberry, 8 o'clock. They have the nightcap on Friday against Brown University, then St. Cloud State or Union the second day at PPG Paints Arena.
I went all over the country, 12 hospitals, 7 doctors, 6 bronchoscopies. No one could figure out what was wrong with me. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't make it from here to the door. Finally, the last doctor we saw told us to go to UPMC. That hospital saved my life. I can't explain how good it felt to unplug my chair. I have a real life back. I didn't choose to have severe asthma, but I did choose UPMC.
Oh, yeah, you can shut this. Hey, what? Look at that in there. Look at those things. Those new jackets, those are pretty cool, huh? You can go. What?
Oh my God!
Sit down. Oh, hey, go look at those things there. They're pretty cool. We're gonna use them. Yeah.
Oh! Yeah, that was good. That was good.
New stuff there.
Oh!
That's all. We're not having our meeting.
I don't know. Want to do like a promo thing? Do you want to have a promo?
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
You can lay down.
What if I lay down this one?
Yeah, lay down with that one.
Okay, what am I doing now? So you're just gonna hide him in the box, and then he's gonna get it. He's gonna what? Get like a cat.
So then you just pop out.
So how should I pop out though?
Just like straight out.
You think I'm gonna fit in there? What about this box? Can you try to get in? I can for sure fit in there. Just try to get in.
We'll get you down that way.
I could for sure fit. Maybe fits my shoe.
Well, we want to use the big box, but then it's like kind of obvious because we're laying down.
Yeah. Go check your
Like, try to fit in this one. Like, try to lay down.
Oh my God, dude! It's just...
Can't get enough of your favorite Colonial teams? Follow RMU Athletics on social media at RMU Athletics on Twitter, RMU Athletics on Instagram, and be sure to like our page on Facebook at Robert Morris University Athletics. Go Colonials!
We've noticed here and looking at some of the...
You're going to take a trip to SBOO.
I think I am.
Said and done. If Pearl Jam goes there, you're there.
I think you're coming with me.
If Pearl Jam goes
yes.
there? That's the only way I'm going.
Oh, Marchand a shot early here, at least a chance. Anyway, backhanding it through the slot, unable to find a stick, but now Marchand gets it right back again as Brown has come out with some jump to start the second period until it falls in the stick of Hebert, and that's been a dangerous place for the puck tonight. All the way out to Berger, two-line pass. Skates horizontally through the zone, gets a shot in, deflects, and gets by Marat. Berger from way out, that touched something on the way in. Don't know if it hit a Colonial or another Brown Bear, but as we watch the celebration line, it's Joachim Weberg who is leading the way, so maybe he got the deflection on the shot that came way from out high by Berger, and it's 2-1 as Brown dominated the first 30 seconds of play here, and it's 2-1. RMU sees a quick answer from the Bears to start the second.
Yeah, Weberg came in having scored a goal in 3 consecutive games, including both games of Brown's participation in the Ledyard Bank Classic up in Dartmouth last weekend, and I think he got a piece of that in front, Tim. Francis Marat went low left with the glove, and all of a sudden the puck went high left. He doesn't normally miss that badly. There had to be a deflection. Derek Schooley's having a chat with one of the referees and one of the linesmen. Not sure what that might be about. But
I'm not sure they're asking about onsides versus offsides, or if they're asking whether or not that deflection was so far out, Mike, it would be tough to see if it was a high stick. Is that perhaps what they're claiming as well? Now, it looks like based on how Derek is gesturing, that doesn't indicate anything of a high stick nature to me. It almost looks like they're trying to figure out if it was onsides or off.
Now we're going to have a chat with the Brown side just to let them know what's going on, and looks like there isn't going to be any kind of review. We're getting ready for the face-off. 28 seconds in. That's one of the no-nos for the Colonials. Don't give up any goals in the first 2 minutes of a period. They have done so, Tim.
Assuming Weberg gets credit for that, it'll be his 5th goal and 8th point. And Berger, who took the shot, I imagine will get the assist, and that will be assist number 5 and point number 6. Colonials come back the other way as they skate from right to left now with the long change. Adamo way up high just outside the circles, try to tee one up. Not much smoke on it, got knocked down before it got to the goaltender, Kenya, anyway. Now Jalen up along the near left boards. Adamo has it touched away by Jatari. Goes off the glass, comes down now to Giles into the neutral zone, spins it back in, hits Mentenuto. Now in front of the scorer's table, cross corner dump in off the glass for Giles, and he'll swap out. Skater falls down behind the end line. That's Jalen, allows Gerdukis to get a pass from Lalonde. Up top, working low to high. Mikalian waits for the pass to come his way at the left point, fires it all the way across. Loria had abandoned his spot there. Perkusic one-on-one with McGuire. Keeps it on his backhand. Turning shot goes off the body of Kenya. Oh, Perkusic had more on that than I anticipated. That was a sneaky shot. Still in possession of the Colonials. Good zone time here. Coleman retrieves it, has it taken away from him. Pushed out by a skate in front of the RMU bench. Mikalian hustles over. Bouncing away, stopping and coming back. Mikalian falls down, comes to the left point, now over to Dawson. Wrist shot goes off of Coleman. Kick that comes to the point, now off the glove of Coleman. Bats at it a couple times. Falls down to Mikalian. Over to Loria. Loria stops, goes through his own legs. Nice move by him. Drops the defender, Shu, but can't get a shot as a result of that nice stick handling play.
It is Weberg's 5th from Berger and Gottlieb at 28 seconds.
Chance for Perkusic to play some pool and poke it past Kenya. Didn't get it all the way over, though. Somebody dropped the stick there, and it's dangerously in the goaltender's way. It's his own stick. He's able to get it up, but he can't figure out how to handle it. Now a moment for Kenya to get his bearings. Coyne gets it over to the right faceoff circle. Fanning on a shot as Loria, and Brown counters out. Wrist shot in, shot and a score! Tommy Marchand has tied this one up as he came in with some speed, enough time to tee it up and wrist it by Frankie Marat. 2-2, 17-14 left to go, and we're knotted up here in Cranberry.
Yeah, great response to start the second period from Brown, and that was a quick transition out of the Brown end, a 4-on-2. So the Colonial D retreating back in front of Marat, and Marchand, he's only got his 2nd goal of the year with that shot, but man, did he let it rip, and you probably heard it bank off the post and in. No deflection necessary for that one. We are all even at 2 apiece.
Goal 2, point 7 for Marchand. We'll get you the assist as soon as possible. Now, used the phrase before to talk about the goaltender, Kenya, who picked up the stick in the wrong direction. trying to get his bearings before that last shot. That's exactly what the Colonials have to do here, is they've been knocked off their pins to start period 2.
Yeah, they played such a strong first period, but Brown showing some resilience and coming into this tournament at 2-1-2 and starting to finally have some success, probably feeling pretty good about itself. That early 2-0 home, no big deal apparently.
Career goal number 31 for Marchand. Pass eludes Brandon Watt. Good hard check into the corner from Ferrario. Re-entry by Brown. Action gummed up here at the blue line. RMU will skate backwards with it into its own end. Kenya comes out to play it in the trapezoid here on the NHL practice rink. Hebert can't keep it along the wall, so another chance here for the Brown Bears. Little swat from Gesser at the pass from Burston. Long reach for Tonge, is able to control it offensively. Puck rolling on him. Schaefer tries to back up. Backhand pass for Tonge. Has to play defense now as Ferrario had an opportunity to skate in. Now he'll clear the ice. Full change for the Bears. Tonge runs into the official here as Kimmins goes down to his skates and now takes a check from Mayer. One of the Bears tries to push him away to get to the puck. All sorts of clustered action. Quick pass from the goaltender Kenya. Tonge gets his stick lifted.
Even throwing the weight around a little bit.
Long shift here for Alex Tonge. Robert trying to play the angle. Shot comes in. Nice save by Marat. A soft little shot from Mayer, who was sitting right on top of the crease, but Marat had his glove in the right general area and makes the save at the 15:39 mark. Say no to this, Francis Marat.
Yeah, funny bounce off the backboards behind Marat, and everybody thought the puck was going to hit the boards and continue moving into the far left corner as we faced that Colonial goal, and instead it came out on the short side, and Mayer was there to pounce on it, but Marat's glove just a little bit quicker. That is, as Mike Sullivan might say, a 10-bell save, Tim.
Yeah, that was a really nice effort there by Marat to take away the look from the near post, and fortunate for him, he had his glove in the right place at the right time. Now Adamo struggling to get it into the neutral zone. Falling down is Mentenuto. He wants a call, doesn't get one. Adamo coming down the left wing boards. Trips up Ferrario as he absorbs the check and then applies one himself. Maloney wanted a breakout pass, comes a little too late. Brown somehow stays on side. Shot, it's still loose, kicked in. They're going to call a goal? No, they're not. His piece of equipment almost falls down onto the ice. What is that?
Goal light behind the net.
Is that the light?
It's hanging by a thread. It looks like a red light in a hurricane.
Yeah, it almost came on too as it was kicked in past Marat. But they said that they blew the whistle dead initially. I don't know, Mike. Was that still loose? I don't know if it went in off his stick anyway, but boy, Francis Marat fortunate there as Brown continues to control the play here before we get to the first media timeout.
Yeah, really feeling good about its game and crashing the net hard that time. That goal light still hanging by a thread. By the way, Weberg the only assist on the Marchand goal at 2:56.
So I take that back. That was his first assist at the goal previously, so 2 points here as that top line is cooking right now for Brown.
And we've got the ladder employed or deployed behind the net, behind the glass. They're trying to fix that goal light.
Challen able to use his speed to get away from Robert. Tristan Crozier, start and stop move. Backhand pass over to Perkusic, able to get to the puck before it's wiggled into the neutral zone. On the backhand, Schuh elevates for a moment, hits and falls down to Joachim Weberg, the Norwegian player for the Brown Bears, who's impacted this game. Gets bumped off the puck here by Israel into his right skate, plays it soccer style, now gets it back over to Alex Robert. Coleman wants the pass, it's banked off the boards on the far side from us, backhanded by Horseman. Coleman goes over the boards and changes out. Here's Schuh with it on his forehand. The lefty shot goes off a Berger though. Now comes back over to Robert Morris as Giles pirouettes around, loses the forecheck of Weberg and counters out the other way. Long bouncing pass to Watt. Opportunity for Watt. Shot saved. Nice one there with the pad by Kenya.
Nice one, but Coyne had a chance to get to that rebound and didn't get there.
Brink wobbles a pass to Jatari. Verdukis follows him into the corner. Turning shot deflected off the shaft of his stick and hits the netting over the goal, and we'll step aside for our first time out of the second period. It's been all Brown Bears here in the second. They've tied it up at 2-2 here at the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex in Cranberry. Second. A face-off win by the Bears, tied up at 2-2, 13:35 remaining. Another opportunity on Marat, but that one was pushed aside a little bit too far by Gessert. Now he's checked hard by Eber, who's done a nice job offensively, trying to do some good work on the defensive end as well. And we got a whistle here, Mike, and this is going to be a penalty on RMU as Kenya hadn't made it all the way over to the bench yet. Offensive zone face-off coming on the power play to start it off as who's going to the net here? Gerdukas into the penalty box, rather.
Looks like 2 for holding at 6:38. So that Brown power play back in action.
Brown 0 for 1 on the man up. It was Lynch who took the first penalty earlier in the game for Robert Morris, and they were able to kill that off. Draw one back to Gottlieb. On the blue line, good stick handling to keep it in here. Marching at the last goal, tried to pick a corner and went high, goes over the crossbar. Man, he's rocketed 2 shots. He's gotten some NHL looks, and I can see why. There's some skill here with him.
Yeah, I'm wondering why he had just the 1 goal coming in tonight, 13 games, because you mentioned 30 in his career, and he can fire it.
Jatari tried to sit up from the center point. Has another chance to do that here. Pump fake shot, score! Through a screen. From the outside on the perimeter, it's Max Gottlieb, the senior from New Jersey, and the Bears have taken a 3-2 lead as they score. The power play has struggled mightily this season, but they get one on the board, and they go up in front by 1.
Well, when it rains, it pours. You mentioned it. That Brown power play has done nothing this season, but getting the Bears back in front after falling into a 2-0 hole. Tim, here's how dramatically things have turned. In the first period, the scoring chances were 6-0 in favor of Robert Morris. I think the Colonials have 1 chance here in the second, and Brown has 3 goals to take a 3-2 lead.
The shots, here's another opportunity here for Bodwin going backhand, forehand. Giles rode him the whole way through the slot area, though. Still in possession of Brown along the ice. A dribbler goes across the end line. Coyce tries to backhand it out. Dawson able to keep it in at the right point, though. Barak comes out and pokes it with the goalie stick, and it goes into the netting as an exit chance for Jenny goes awry. That would be a penalty in the NHL. No such call here in college hockey, though.
Gottlieb's 2nd goal this season in 14 games and the 7th of his career in 98 career games with Brown.
Mike, the shots were 15-5 going into this period. Is now 17-9. Brown has just poured it on.
And making the most of opportunities. A lot of zone time. And a lot of shots.
Here's another one. That was teed up.
I was trying to say a lot of well-placed shots, not necessarily a preponderance of shots, but this has definitely been Brown's period. The Colonials don't have an answer so far.
Bodwin wristed one, and Murat made the glove save. Derek Schooley is not usually a let's call timeout for the sake of emotional swings or just screaming at the guys on the bench. Tries to keep him more tactically, but the control continues to stay with Brown as another shot came from Brink. A huge hit from Brink, too, as he lined up Lalonde. Hear that one echo all the way across the ice. Shot clips and flutters in the air, bounces off of Kenya. 2 men in the forecheck, Mentenuto and Adamo. They'll fall back, and Lalonde on right wing as well, tries to take away that exit opportunity. Mentenuto poking away at Gottlieb, fresh off the goal. Brink skating through the Penguin logo here in Cranberry. Bounces off his back. Stick on puck work there from defenseman Brendan McAlean for Robert Morris. Along the end line, Burston forgot the puck. McAlean and Schaefer attempt to take it away. Calling for it is Adamo. He will receive said pass from Lalonde. Dumping it in, chasing and following is Adamo. Then shoves dangerously one of the Brown players into the end boards.
And he's going
I think it was Ferrario, and he's slow to get up. As Jatari gets a check from Israel, it's touched by Coleman, and I think it's going to be a boarding call on Adamo. Actually going to call it interference. Call it just about anything there.
Good news there is they usually don't call 5-minute penalties for interference, so it's a 2-minute minor to Adamo, but the suddenly surging Brown power play has a chance to do even more damage to him. By the way, the assists on the Gottlieb goal, Marchin gets one, and Zakatari gets the second assist at 7:06.
So for Jatari, that is his 5th point of the year. We got a media timeout. We'll come back with the Brown power play when we return on ESPN Pittsburgh. A little early there, so they're supposed to go at 14, 10, and 6 in this game. And usually we're kind of gotten back into the habit of just one timeout, Mike, during regular conference play for the Colonials when they're at the RMU Island Sports Center. But with the mixed grouping of teams from various conferences going with 3 media timeouts, and some of the refs still adjusting themselves here. I think that happened once before in the previous game, too, between St. Cloud and Union.
It did.
Now Gottlieb is pushed away as he tried to have the disc for a minute, but Luke Lynch got in his face. We're looking for a little bit more from Lynch here in the second period.
Yeah, Colonials need to change the momentum. Maybe a strong penalty kill could turn that trick.
Now Gottlieb spins around in the neutral zone, waits for the rest of the rush to catch up with him. A little shove from behind by Robert, able to create some space, so he had the puck for a second. Berger's losing his skates a few times here offensively. Now is able to make a pass over to Jatari. Shot from Manchin. He hammers another one. And that one goes off the end glass, too high there. As Marchin is really had a chance here. Some time, space, and ability to tee up that heavy wrister of his.
Yeah, I wonder if he remembered to shoot tonight. Well, he gets rid of it.
Marchin wants it again.
Should have had more than one coming in, you would think.
Delicate pass to Jatari. Passes it to himself now off the boards, but it leaves the zone as Tanj was sticky on defense there. Gottlieb has been impressive here in the second period with 1 goal. Second power play chance as Adamo is in the box. 9:57 left to go. Jalen touches it over. Shot misses just wide. Goes beyond the right post. Marat came out to challenge. Now he reaches around the net and pins it up against the netting, so we'll get a face-off, I believe, to his stick side here.
Yeah, Israel helping out with that as well. It came off the backboards and settled on the net behind Marat, but from our angle looking through a net,
yeah,
it was tough to tell if it was behind the net or behind the goaltender. But fortunately for RMU, it was the former.
Yeah, that's netting through netting for us here from our vantage point in the broadcast deck. Crozier, center point, face-off is drawn back to him. Coleman scurries over and is able to get a tiny piece of the puck, and it comes back into the neutral zone as a result. Coleman did some yeoman's work on the penalty kill against AIC that resulted in a short-handed goal for him last weekend. That's got to be a slash of the stick, right? Yeah, there it is. Mentenuto, a little blow-by there from one of the Brown skaters, and they ripped the stick out of his hand, and Smiling as he goes in is Brent Bowden. Didn't think he would get caught there, but it was so obvious. And Mentenuto felt the contact and just let go of the stick, and it went high in the air and fell to the ice surface. So with 14 seconds left to go, that'll truncate that power play for Brown, and it'll be roughly, 1:46 on the clock of man-up time here for Robert Morris back the other way after we get through 4-on-4 action. Not a real smart penalty there. It was in front of every ref. Nothing else was going on the ice to distract them, right?
No, maybe a little frustration with the power play going awry, but you'd think they'd be used to that by now.
Right. Celebrating after the one power play goal that they finally got. In the air, into the netting, trying to leave the zone was Jatari, and it falls down into the scores table area.
So opportunity about to knock for the Colonials, who went 1 for 2 on the power play in that first period.
My guess here, Mike, with Laurie on the ice and Lynch and Tonj and Israel, is that we'll just see Adamo run onto the ice surface and stay there in front of the net, right? Assume that net front position?
Yeah, join the party.
Welcome to the party, pal. Lynch fights for the faceoff, gets it to Tonj. 3 seconds left to go before we get to the power play for Robert Morris. One more opportunity, though, for Gesser. Wrist one goes high as Marat went down, went over his glove, and it ignites the break the other way for Robert Morris. Coming in as Lynch gets his stick tied up. Is that going to be a penalty? As Lynch went into the gloves, he'll go into the the penalty box again. Lynch rolls his eyes as I couldn't tell who that was. I think it might have been Jatari, who kind of pinched the stick against his body once he felt the call coming. And now, so much for that power play chance for Robert Morris. We'll get more 4-on-4 opportunity here.
Yeah, 1:30 of 4-on-4, and then it'll be a 30-second power play for Brown, but not what the Colonials were looking for from Luke Lynch. He tried to let go of the stick and put the hands up. I'm not doing anything. Don't call anything on me. It didn't work.
Lynch in the box on one side. Bodwin in the box on the other side for Brown. Perkusic wins the faceoff. Mikulian picks his head up, tries to see if there's anybody open to pass to get out of the zone. However, he loses it over to Marchin as he turns defense into offense here. Weberg in the far corner gets support from Marchin behind the end line. Marat peers around the left corner. Marchin's been dangerous with that shot all night long. Mikulian overskates. Another chance for Marchin. Creates a little space, wristing it into the gut of Marat, who makes the save.
Boy, is he feeling it. Every time he gets the puck, he is letting it rip.
He wasn't even on balance, and he still got some heat on that one.
And then slid over into the boards in front of the Kent State University sign on the boards. Kent State, I guess, trying to recruit Cranberry. And Marchin kind of punching the boards there. I don't know if it's because his shot didn't go in or he
got cross-footed on the shot, it looked like a little bit.
Or maybe he just doesn't like Kent State.
Chitario, deflection. Marat looks behind himself, and it was stuck in his pads.
Boy, Brown is really coming.
I think it was Berger, right, who got that as it went up into Frankie.
Nice tip, just doing the
with a blow-by in front.
Cross in front of the net, try to time it so you, if nothing else, take the goaltender's eyes away. And I think he was able to deflect that. Marat looked over that right shoulder, but the puck still in front of him. So face off to Marat's left with 57 seconds left on the Brown penalty and 1:27 left on the Lynch penalty.
17-12, the shot advantage for Robert Morris. It feels like Brown has almost eaten up the entirety of the difference, though. Surprised it's still that much of a disparity with the way the Brown Bears have played in this second period. They've had a few that have missed the net that have been good chances. Here's Coleman, though, 4-on-4. Speaking of a good chance, shot saved by Kenya with the left pad.
Good job by Coleman, though. He looked up and saw he was solo into the Brown end, so he let it go.
Now Coleman fights hard to get it back here. 4-on-4 continues. Mentenuto with a spin move. Gets a little bit more ice and distance. Shot comes in, deflection, goes around Kenya. Chitari able to skate away from Coleman, who's expended a lot of energy on this shift, and it will now come off.
Yeah, he was having a hard time getting backup ice on the back check.
Coleman's had a little nick or ding injury or two here and there throughout the course of the season, playing center tonight a lot for the Colonials. Normally a wing, flip-flopping positions with Perkusic. Bodwin on the ice, and the power play is underway for Brown. Just 25 seconds of it. Tipping off the stick of Ferrario. Now in possession to Bodwin, who just came out of the box. Left point, Brown trying to set up one solid opportunity here. Ferrario comes on top of the right circle. Feed attempt for Bodwin along the left post. Giles couldn't get over the stick of one of the forecheckers for Brown. Looking across from us, that's Crozier. Lynch back on the ice. We're assuming even strength. Shot comes in high on Marat. Able to save it up against his own shoulder. 6:54 left to 2. 3-2 the score here in Cranberry.
Yeah, Colonial's getting through that abbreviated Brown power play, but a good shot at the end of it. As Lynch was coming back on the ice, Giles unable to get it clear, and Marat had to come up big.
And we're taking our third, and we believe final, media timeout of this second period. 6:54 left to go. It's 3-2 Brown.
Can't get enough of your favorite Colonial teams? Follow RMU Athletics on social media at RMU Athletics on Twitter, RMU Athletics on Instagram, and be sure to like our page on Facebook at Robert Morris University Athletics. Go Colonials!
Man, you've got a lot going on, and you're making it happen. But you still need to eat. You need takeout. Eat and Park is the answer. A huge menu that everyone can agree on, no matter what you're hungry for. Easy online ordering to get the order right, and get it the way you want it. Plus, fast and easy pickup windows, so you can get your order and stay in your car. Eat and Park for takeout. Quick, easy, delicious.
Brown. Gottlieb and Ferrario have been out there a ton in this second period, and rightfully so. They've done a nice job on the blue line for Brown in this second, as the goaltender Kenya watches a long icing go against Robert Morris following the faceoff, so we'll just do that all over again.
Might be a big 6:48 here left in the second period for RMU, Tim. Colonials are 1-9-1 this season when trailing after 2 periods of play. Of course, our buddy Doc Emmerich would say it's history, not prophecy, but it's still a heck of a trend.
Yes. Well, I don't know if it's history or prophecy, but there's statistical evidence to suggest why that's a problem, because Robert Morris just hasn't scored a lot of goals this year, and that prevents some of the frenetic comebacks that we've seen from these guys with goalies pulled and things of that nature, extra skaters, stuff like that.
Or even a methodical comeback. If you don't score, you're not coming back any kind of way.
Attempting an elevated pass was Luke Lynch. Couldn't get it to Taj, though, and now Marat has to come out of his crease to maneuver the puck. Gets it to Giles, pass to Taj. Try to get it to Hebert, who's slowed down here after a really strong first. Giles skates for a moment. Now stretches it out to Taj. Gets around Burston. Taj comes in clean to the zone. Nice draw pass for Lynch. Wrist shot off the blocker, way high into the air. Hits the netting. We'll get a face-off as Kenya read that one. Lynch tried to wrist it, went blocker, but too high.
Great job by Taj drawing a crowd. We've talked periodically tonight about Brown's occasional penchant for giving up the blue line and sagging everybody back, and Alex Taj took it, and about 4 players converged on him, and he actually found Luke Lynch with time and space and a great look there.
Schaefer rolls it along the yellow bottom of the boards behind the net. Perkusic tries a backhand pass into the slot, no one home. Kept in by RMU, though. Loria goes into the left corner. Perkusic gummed up with Jatari. Dribbles the puck for a moment. Now comes to the center stripe. Passed all the way through the neutral zone. Shearer there. Kicked at by Loria. Trying to figure out a way to get it over to Coleman. Robert Morris gets it in deep again. Not much to set up for the offense, though, at least for the time being. Coleman trying to do something about that. This line's had some zone time the last couple times out, Mike, though. Mickley in left point. Pass over to Loria. Backhander goes off the pad of Kenya. A nifty move there by Loria.
Nifty, but maybe an instance where Mickley needs to get that puck on the net. Colonials look like they're going to have to do it the hard way here. It's Brown starting to sag back in its end, and it's going to be get it down low, get it back, cycle it, and maybe get it back to the point and rip one on goal and see what happens from there.
Mentenuto between Lalonde and Adamo.
The open shots are probably going to be from the point.
They'll be countered by the fourth line of Dodd, Mayer, and Bodwin. And that unit's seen some pretty fair amount of ice time. It's going to be icing. It will be. Israel gets back, wins the race, then gets tied up on the way past with Trey Dodd, who got a roughing penalty earlier in this game.
Yeah, good hustle by Israel to get back there and make sure that icing call came to fruition. So,
defenseman of the week, Eric Israel in the Atlantic.
Face off to Kenea's right. 5 minutes left in period number 2.
Robert, the defenseman, way down deep behind the goal line. Then Tenuto tries to step up and deliver a check. Now Adamo got a piece of Bodwin. Again, Brown wanted to call on him. No such luck. Looping behind the net, now passing it out top is Ferraro from Ogden, Utah. Lalonde, the defensive right wing boards, manages a pass over to Adamo. Long strides, crosses over. Firing a shot clipped by Ferraro, excuse me. And now Mayer counters offensively. Wrist shot goes into the body of Marat, and he's plowed into. Boy, Marat got smoked. Let's see how he is. Mayer winds up in the net. He's just sitting there.
He's going to wind up in a penalty box after that.
Yeah, he went hard into Marat, who checks his mask, checking all of his faculties right now. Shakes the neck, appears to be okay.
Boy, great focus by Marat, because that initial shot deflected off Giles. And
Mike, I think they're calling this an RMU. Yeah, they are.
Wow.
Yeah, Israel's going to go in. So they're going to say that Israel shoved Mayer into Marat.
Wow, that's remarkable. We don't have the advantage of a replay here, so we'll have to take their word for it.
I didn't get a look at how bad that shove was, but I certainly saw Mayer go in hard to Marat. He wasn't trying to stop himself once he got hit. I know that.
15:42, the time of that interference penalty to Israel. So the Brown power play, 1 for 4 on the night. Gets another shot at achieving a little separation here before we break after 40 minutes.
Face-off won by Robert Morris, down to 4:16 left, and the 1-goal lead for the Brown Bears at 3-2. Gottlieb, now up high, comes over to Marchin. Back over to Gottlieb again. Marchin, wrist shot. Oh, I think Marat got a piece of that with either the block or the pad, Mike. Good challenge by him, again on a good shot by Marchin.
It was either Marat or Schaefer, but a one-timer that meant business.
Lynch comes in 1-on-2, splits the defense, at least killing some time here. Oh, and that no penalty there? Yeah, there it is. Now Lynch counters, doesn't want to get a retaliation. He's already been in the box twice. Somebody left their skates and hit Lynch, who absorbed the check, but I think that's going to be
It's going to be an elbow.
Yeah, either an elbow or a charge. I thought Gottlieb left his skates to apply that hit. Didn't need to do it either. Luke Lynch isn't that tall, and he was kind of bent over in the first place. You got it, Mike. It is an elbow, as signaled by referee Jay Durfee. And you're going to see Gottlieb, one of the goal scorers today, go into the box in 1:25. So 35 seconds came off that power play. It's the second time we've seen one of those tonight from Brown, where they've cut off their own power play. Well, kind of a silly penalty.
Yeah, maybe they're tired of their power play too. But Robert Morris did a little damage 4-on-4 last time. Let's see if the Colonials can do the same thing this time and maybe set themselves up for a brief power play that will follow. 35 seconds worth.
Stick work by Mikulian to momentarily regain possession to come to the offensive end, but Brown has it back. Digging into the skates now, passing out, shot along from Fierro, goes to Gottlieb. It's still loose in the blue paint. Did it get poked in? No. Oh, Marat fighting hard, being stout in the net, falls on the puck, and manages to keep this a one-score game.
Yeah, Berger with the last couple of whacks at it from just on the offensive side of the goal line to the left of the cage. The Colonials mishandling the puck a little bit. A scramble in front of Marat. Brown with 3 or 4 attempts there, but Marat able to keep it out despite being on his back. The only part of his body outside of the net were the 2 goalie pads in his legs, of course, and that was enough.
And Marat's had at least 2 or 3 good saves, while at the same time allowing 3 goals in this period. Kind of indicative of how Brown has dominated. Only 4 shots in this period thus far for RMU. They had 15 after the first, only 4 in this frame, though.
Yeah, it's completely changed from the opening 20 minutes.
Perkusic trying to skate in with Loria. Loses it right at the red line. Here's Brink, goes around the perimeter of the circle. Thought about a wraparound. Marat took that away. Ferrerio wants it at right point. Turning shot gets deflected way up in the air. Hits the top of the glass, falls down to Ferrerio.
Yeah, good job by Jenny to stay with the shooter.
Turning shot, Marat was caught out of his crease. Went off his skates anyway. Still in possession of Brown. Again, angling hard is Alex Brink, really leaning into the blades, and RMU's able to get it back from him. Frisbee pass out now to Perkusic. Tries to come onside clean. Loria had to wait up. Now it's to start the motor quickly. Mayer ran into Marat before. A great move here by him. Backhand for another backhand shot and a score. Oh, what a goal from Alec Mayer. The sophomore puts on a display, and Brown is now up 2. 4-2 the score for the Colonials here in Cranberry.
And boy, you heard Derek Schooley talk between periods, Tim, about the importance of continuing to manage the puck well with the ice conditions being what they are, bouncy, and it's hard to control the puck sometimes. And Nick Perkusic that time with a power play about to start for RMU. Instead of getting it deep, he tried to go through a double team at the offensive blue line, turned the puck over. Brown transitioning quickly, and a huge goal for the Brown Bears, who now lead it by 2.
Like you said, it was a big 4-minute stretch, and it's gone the wrong way for RMU, as they're now down by 2 goals with 2 minutes remaining in the second period. Israel trying to go through 3 guys. That was never going to happen. Taj goes back to touch up the puck. No icing here, though. He starts to speed out of his own end. Lost it. Israel providing some puck support to get it back. Dropping it for Tanj. Setting up at the offensive blue is Adamo, but Tanj again tries to go through. I believe that was Bodwin who took it away from him. Adamo with an opportunity. Pass goes over to Adamo. Can't get it off. Lalonde rather off the pass from Adamo. Couldn't get the shot off, and it allows a trigger and a shot deflected in on Marat, who makes another save with 90 seconds left.
Yeah, Colonial's going to have to do this the hard way and start getting it deep and then getting after it, Tim. They're really having trouble getting through the neutral zone and navigating the Brown blue line. Sounds kind of silly, doesn't it?
What is brown plus blue? Magenta? What's the color wheel say to that?
As opposed to the green-red line.
All right, now it's in the far corner. Israel right in front of the band. Puck bouncing around all over the place in the neutral zone. Goes off the chest of Luke Lynch. Luke, a pass over to Lalonde. Wrist shot goes off the chest of Kenya. Almost put it in his own net. Adamo behind the goal line. Lalonde skates horizontally across the ice. Good hip check to cut off the angle and keep it in the offensive end. 44 seconds remaining. Bouncing shot goes away from Berger. Tipped that for a second here by Horseman. He's able to get it in offensively. Horseman with some good stick handling. Coyne right behind him. Try to allow some support along the near left wing boards. Coyne digging hard along with Horseman and Watt. 6 players converge. Comes to Giles at left point. Tried a long wrister. Intercepted and a breakaway coming here. Chance coming in on Lalonde. Good work by Giles to get back and prevent Berger for a chance. Now wild action as Coyne gives it to Watt. Comes in offsides at the 14.4 mark remaining in the second period. So we'll get ourselves one more face-off at least here, as RMU couldn't come in clean on that offensive chance. Get the neutral zone face-off just outside of the McDonald's M here, right in front of the penalty box for Brown. Maloney will set up with Crozier and Justin Jalen. Eber wins the draw back to Michelian, able to enter cleanly. If RMU hustles, they might get a chance. Perkusic throws his stick up in the air. Michelian steps down the wall with limited time remaining. Eber comes in at left point. Jatari swipes it away. Michelian catches it, drops it. Maloney takes a hack too, and that'll do it. A dominant second period for the Brown Bears. 4-2 is your score. Brown out in front of Robert Morris. The UPMC Sports Medicine Intermission Report next when we return on ESPN Pittsburgh.
Can't get enough of your favorite Colonial sports? Follow RMU Athletics on social media at RMU Athletics on Twitter, RMU Athletics on Instagram, and be sure to like our page on Facebook at Robert Morris University Athletics. Go Colonials! Hey there, Colonial fans! It's time to meet our Student Athletes of the Week, sponsored by People's Gas. This week we celebrate Malik Padaway from men's basketball and Alex Tanj from men's hockey. Senior forward Malik Padaway finished up non-conference play with a double-double in the Colonials' huge blowout against Hood on Saturday, with 18 points and 10 rebounds. He shot .889 from the field, helping the Colonials achieve their second highest field goal percentage in program history. Senior forward Alex Tonge scored 2 goals in the Colonials' 3-1 win over AIC on Sunday, with his 7th and 8th goals of the season. Tonge's game winner came just 8 seconds into the third period on a breakaway and puts him 6th place on the program's all-time scoring list. Congratulations to our Student Athletes of the Week. For more, visit rmucolonials.com and remember to use the hashtag #ColonialPride.
Man, you've got a lot going on, and you're making it happen. But you still need to eat. You need takeout. Eat and Park is the answer. A huge menu that everyone can agree on, no matter what you're hungry for. Easy online ordering to get the order right and get it the way you want it. Plus, fast and easy pickup windows so you can get your order and stay in your car. Eat and Park for takeout. Quick, easy, delicious.
I was always fairly into education. I took it serious, and I'd always thought about the additional education, but I just never really thought I'd have the time to do it.
My dad and my brother got their MBA before I did, so they always said that they were in the master's club and I wasn't in it. So then when I finished mine, Joe wasn't in the club, so he felt the need to join our club.
So I'm trying to balance this work and school and home life, and then we find out in October that we're expecting a baby. It's just going to be a whole new adventure and just a lot of exciting things going on in our life.
Here at the RMU Island Sports Center, I'm Matt Geica with head coach Derek Schooley. Time to talk pucks once again. It's the Men's Hockey Weekly and an important week, Coach, with the Three Rivers Classic coming up. But before we get to that, you come off the holiday break with a split at AIC up in Massachusetts. You scored 3 goals in both of those games, too, against the second-place team. Feel like that's a pretty positive outcome to start the second half?
Well, I thought we were really good to open our first game. I thought we were really good, and as the game went on, I thought they took it to us a little bit. And then in the third period, they were it was back to an even game again, and they got a bounce at the end, and we didn't get a penalty kill that we needed right down the stretch. And good hockey game, good first weekend out. We got a nice. I think we kind of stole a game with 17 shots on goal. Francis Murat was outstanding. I thought Luke Lynch and Alex Tonge were big-time leaders for us offensively, and big-time play by the two of them and Eric Israel to get us the game-winning goal. So, yeah, you're always happy to go on the road and get a split, and we got to be ready to go here, and we got to continue to get better.
Yeah, this is different this week. Typically, with the Classic, it's right after the holiday. This time you get 2 games, maybe get your feet back under you in game action. Alex Tonge seemed to think on Sunday that was an advantage. How do you feel about it as a coach?
Well, it's a weird time because you got New Year's and New Year's Day and all thrown in the mix, and then we're coming back, and you've got some really quality teams coming in, and the Browns playing very well right now. They just beat Army. You got St. Cloud, #1 in the nation, and then you got Union that's been consistent in the top 15 all year. So these are some good hockey teams that are coming into the Three Rivers Classic. So hopefully we can continue the success we've had in this tournament, because it's always fun for our guys, our student athletes, and we're ready to go, hopefully.
Yeah, what's the energy like on a week like this? It's a short week, but like you said, it's one thing that you look forward to every year, no doubt about it, with this tournament.
I think the energy is going to pick up as the week goes on. We've got the banquet, and the teams are going to start coming into town, and you're going to see Union practicing here at our rink and tomorrow, and then you get the banquet on Thursday. And so I think it's one of those things. I think as the week goes on, the energy is going to pick up, and we know this is always a big deal for our university and for us in the hockey community in the city of Pittsburgh. So I think the energy is going to get going, and we had a really good practice today, and we had get our legs adjusted after a day off on New Year's Day. So tomorrow will be also a good day, and as I said, we'll get the energy cranked up as the weekend goes on.
You've won the Confluence Cup 3 out of 6 times. This tournament has been competed. You've joked after a couple of the wins that it might be tough to get some quality teams in here because they're afraid of getting upset, but you did it again. You do have, like you mentioned, with Union and St. Cloud State, 2 ranked opponents, and Brown coming off a nice win. How much of a point of pride is that for you as a program to keep bringing these strong fields into Pittsburgh?
Well, you want to keep having these good exposing college hockey to people and the fans, and get top-ranked teams coming in. And you never know where they're going to be ranked when you get them, but you always want to try to get teams that have great histories and have done very well. St. Cloud was #1 in the nation last year going into the NCAA tournament, so you knew that they were going to have a strong team. Union's always been strong. They won the national championship. Brown's got the history and the pedigree of an Ivy League school, so you knew when we scheduled these that there'd be a chance for them to be good hockey teams, and here we are getting a top 15 team and a #1 team in the nation.
RMU will open up against Brown in the Classic up at the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex in Cranberry. That'll be the nightcap on Friday, as it'll be St. Cloud State and Union at 5 o'clock. Colonials and Brown for the first time ever in the two teams' respective histories at 8, and then we'll see how things shake out for the consolation and the championship games at PPG Paints Arena on Saturday. For Coach Schooley, I'm Matt Geica. We'll talk to you next time.
Today you bought breakfast for your team using Apple Pay. Today you used Clearview's mobile app with Touch ID and Bill Payer to pay your bills, leaving you more time to train for that 5K. And today you used Mobile Deposit to safely deposit a check from home without a trip to a branch. At Clearview Federal Credit Union, technology that saves time, makes time for more important things. Clearview Federal Credit Union, the next generation of personal banking.
I went all over the country, 12 hospitals, 7 doctors, 6 bronchoscopies. No one could figure out what was wrong with me. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't make it from here to the door. Finally, the last doctor we saw told us to go to UPMC. That hospital saved my life. I can't explain how good it felt to unplug my chair. I have a real life back. I didn't choose to have severe asthma, but I did choose UPMC.
Here at the RMU Island Sports Center, ready for the Three Rivers Classic. I'm Matt Geica, talking to senior captain Brandon Watt. And Brandon, a short week coming off the trip to AIC where you guys split. Do you feel like that's maybe a good thing because you can keep that momentum going?
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to get a couple of games in early as soon as we came back from break. Nice to get our legs under us, especially after we had a little bit of a longer break over Christmas this year. So, you know, usually like we play the Three Rivers as soon as we get back. So I think the trip to AAC definitely helped us get back into the swing of things before we start the tourney.
Yeah, I was talking to Alex Tonge after the Sunday game up there in Massachusetts. He said he thought it might be an advantage to get those 2 games and feel like you're back in the swing of things. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, in the past years we came back and those were the first games we've played, especially playing teams from out of conference. You know, it's always kind of a different game, so it was nice to get down to Springfield for a road trip and get a couple games under us.
So far this season, including out there at Springfield, it's been a very successful defensive season for your team. It's a departure from what the Colonials are used to being about. Why do you think the D has been such a lockdown factor this year?
I think it all starts with our goalie, Frankie. You know, sometimes I think this year we haven't exactly found a way to score goals like we have in the past. So in order to win hockey games when you're not putting up, 4 or 5 goals a game, is playing sound defensively. And I think down the stretch it's certainly going to help us as long as we continue to find ways to score goals. I think our power play is starting to click a little bit more now. So the fact that we can bear down defensively will definitely help us down the stretch.
That's been a different type of a season for you, obviously, as team captain. That's an increased responsibility, but also you had some injuries to battle through too. So how do you feel where you're at emotionally, or how have you kept your confidence up as now you're working your way back into things?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of been the same way for the past 2 years for me, battling some injuries. But, I think it's been good that the coaches have supported me the whole time, and, the teammates have helped me keep my confidence up. Kind of sad to say, but I guess I'm kind of used to it by now, just working my way back in and trying to find my legs and whatnot, especially coming off an injury.
Now, last thing for you, the Three Rivers Classic, you've been on the winning side, and you've also seen another team hoist the Confluence Cup. How important is this weekend? Because it's right in the middle of the season, it's not Atlantic hockey play, but you get a chance to put your skills and your team's ability on display for the entire nation, really.
I think it's cool. It's definitely a good experience for us. We get to play teams that, we don't normally see, especially teams coming from out of conference. And I think it's also a huge turning point in the season, too. The first 2 years we were able to win, which was nice, and it kind kind of brought our team closer. And even last year, we kind of learned a little bit about our team. And I think the past 3 years, this tournament really kind of defined who we were in terms of, you know, bringing us all together for the stretch drive.
So come see the Colonials, Lemieux Sports Complex in Cranberry, 8 o'clock. They have the nightcap on Friday against Brown University, then St. Cloud State or Union the second day at PPG Paints Arena.
Oh, yeah, you can shut this. Hey, what? Look at that in there. Look at those things. Those new jackets, those are pretty cool, huh? You can go. What?
Oh my god!
Sit down. Oh, hey, go look at those things there. They're pretty cool. We're gonna use them. Yeah.
Oh! Yeah, that was good. That was good.
New stuff there.
Yeah. Oh!
That's all. We're not having our meeting.
I don't know. Want to do like a promo thing? Do you want to promo?
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You can lay down.
What if I lay down with this one?
Yeah, lay down with that one.
Okay, what am I doing now? So you're just gonna hide him in the box, and then he's gonna get your cabinet. He's gonna what? Get like your cabinet.
So then you just pop out.
So how should I pop out though?
Just like straight out.
You think I'm gonna fit in there? What about this box? Can you try to get in? I can for sure fit in there. I just try to get in.
We'll get you down that way.
I could for sure fit. That maybe fits my shoe.
Well, we want to use the big box, but then it's like kind of obvious because you're laying down.
Yeah. Go check your
Like, try to fit in this one. Like, try to lay down.
Oh my god, dude! It's good!
Can't get enough of your favorite Colonial teams? Follow RMU Athletics on social media at RMU Athletics on Twitter, RMU Athletics on Instagram, and be sure to like our page on Facebook at Robert Morris University Athletics. Go Colonials!
Union knocked off, number 14 Union knocked off number 1 St. Cloud State 7-2. The number 1 and number 2 teams in the country have been beaten, and North Dakota has been beaten by Canisius.
Pens, by the way, won tonight 4-0 at PPG Paints Arena. That's where we're going to be tomorrow, one way or another here for the Colonials as they control the opening faceoff. Lalonde down right wing. Coming way out is Kenya to block her it away, though. I think what the delay was, Mike, is they might have been just making sure that the clock was going to work and the announcements in-house were going to work, and it sounds like I got the impression they were trying to tell the coaches what would happen if the power goes out again, just in case that's an issue. If we're on a backup generator and that's been made aware to the refs or what. Here's our chance for Marchand again. Another wrister and another save by Murat. His 8th shot attempt for Tommy Marchand.
Nice job by Marchand. He faked the initial shot that time and kind of navigated around Eric Israel, and that cut down a little bit of his angle, but it gave him a cleaner look. And Francis Murat able to surround that puck, juggling it momentarily, but coming up with the save. Colonials took a quick shot to start the period, Tim, and I think that's what it's going to take. A lot of pucks and a lot of bodies to the net.
Murat along the ice, comes up high, takes a blocker and right pad save, combination of both, kicked it all the way up towards the top of the circle. Came into the neutral zone, get a whistle here as it entered offsides, and actually I take that back, they're going to touch it up here. It's facing off at the neutral zone, right the center ice area.
Well, better start to this period, Tim. We're 41 seconds in and Brown hasn't scored yet.
And the lights stayed on. I consider that a win twice. Robert to Lynch, lights flutter again. We have to keep an eye on this. Cross corner dump in from Lynch. Brown tries to catch it out of the air. And it's kicked back over to Hebert. Hebert over to Lynch. Backhander for Tange. Defense in the neutral zone as Shearer has been like Velcro on Lynch during that sequence. Murat backhand goalie stick. Over to Lynch. Right in front of the scorer's table. It's taken away though by Brink. Lynch hounds him. Tries a stick check there to get it back. Hebert had it for a second. Couldn't get it to Lynch though. Perkusic falls down the neutral zone. Allows an entry for the Brown Bears. Deflected shot goes into the netting. That was fired off from Dorian Dawson.
Yeah, good stick by Alex Robert to get that puck's trajectory to a point where it went into the large net surrounding the ice, not the small one that Francis Murat is guarding.
Too many of those in there already. Coleman will battle for this face-off against Weberg. On the half wall, trying to step through the puck in the air. Manages to roll its way behind Murat. Shu with a check from behind. Perkusic tries to dangle on the backhand for a second, attempting to make a move. I don't know if he couldn't calm down the puck or what there. Just kind of stuck in the back of his stick.
I think he was waiting for a little help, but it never got there, so he said, what the heck, I'll take it myself.
Delivers a check at the end.
Forget you, Joe Boo, I do it myself.
With a little elbow in the face to Berger. And Coleman is wiped out, pushed into the ice. Stick goes flying. Is that Perkusic who lost it? No, it was Jenny, and now he can't play it. He doesn't have any timber, so no, it was Perkusic. He'll go over to the bench, and Watt will step into his place. A couple of Brown Bears collide here, stepping around the puck together. Gottlieb in possession, sets up behind the net for the breakout. They're more than happy to wind clock at any opportunity, Mike, with the 2-goal lead. Now Gottlieb gains center for Ed, gets around Watt. Israel able to knock it out with his ankle into the neutral zone. Now comes back defensively to Schaefer. Wraparound exit. Comes up to Watt. Spears for it. Gets some support from Coyne. All this action in front of the Colonials bench. Brown offensively. Shot comes in. Deflects off Schaefer. Another opportunity. Sheer momentum. The puck goes towards the net. Backhand just goes wide as Mayer almost had his second.
Yeah, he had a tap in if he gets to that puck on the backhand, but he's just out of his reach.
Coyne trying to take away a passing angle and does, but Bodwin able to go in the other direction offensively anyway. Horseman, backhander, goes off the linesman Tobias, comes back to Horseman. Adamo needs Horseman to clear the zone before he enters. Goes off his right skate. Now a step around move from Mayer, makes that Maloney rather, takes a hip check from Roberts. Adamo comes over. Milan has to pass it back the other way. Roberts skating, hurrying, checking Shear. Puck meanders towards Robert all by himself in the corner, trying to take some time to find a play to make, and it goes into the netting, so he'll stay in the offensive zone.
Brown's still playing with some pretty good energy. You know, it was in the first 20 minutes, it was Robert Morris that looked to be a couple steps faster and getting to all the loose pucks and dictating tempo, and ever since then it's been Brown. And RMU's been a little better here to start the third period, but not good enough. Brown's still kind of dictating play and still playing more in the Colonials' end than the Colonials are in the Bears' end.
Gesser wins the draw. Shoe shot trickled through Marat, but he's able to pounce on it and freeze the puck. Shoe looking for his third goal of the year from Eden Prairie, Minnesota.
Yeah, Brown was having a real hard time scoring as well this season, but a season high 5 goals last Sunday in its second game at the Ledyard Bank Classic at Dartmouth, and able to beat Army 5-3, and Brown 1 goal away from matching that tonight.
Ferrario waiting for a draw back to him. Instead it goes over the right wing off the face-off. Gesser drifts out of the circle. Nicolaian playing some solid defense here against Burston. Burston gets back up off his knees. Turning shot, deflected high off of the knee of Brink. Almost came in a Marat, but manages to get behind the end line. Now swatted down backwards by Lynch. Brown still in possession. Good zone time here on this shift for the second line of the Bears. Nicolaian trying to drive through the offensive possession here by Brink, who's solid on his skates from Hamilton, New York. Oh, Tanj was sniffing there for a breakaway, tried the rip move, and now he's got it back here, wants to get it to Hebert. Any penalty coming here when the sticks was knocked out. Tanj weaving his way through traffic, drop pass here for Hebert, looking for the hat trick, and he's got it. Excellent setup from Tanj, and a hattie for the freshman Grant Hebert. Make it 4-3. The Colonials cut the lead. Rise up, freshman Grant Hebert, as he continues to dominate the score sheet for the Colonials.
That he does, but you got to give most of the credit for that play to Alex Tanj, who was able to get the puck in the Colonials' defensive zone, drag it out, fighting through a stick check, and then making a nice drive from right to left, taking the defense with him, and Hebert able to read behind Tanj.
And we got an and one as Berger goes into the box.
And bury it. I'm not sure what the penalty is, but the Colonials will take it. A 2-minute power play on top of the goal that cuts the Brown lead to 4-3. Really, Hebert just getting himself in shooting position there, Tim, and then letting it go. Congrats on the hattie, but on that third goal, all the heavy lifting done by Alex Tanj.
One of the finest freshman performances we've seen from the Colonials in our time doing the games here on ESPN Pittsburgh. Grant Hebert. Off the faceoff, it goes into the offensive zone for the Brown Bears. Easily maneuvered on the power play for Alex Tanj. Gets into the offensive end without any traffic whatsoever to speak of. Laurie is all by himself in front. Oh, they tried to get the pass to him. Adamo did. Noticed a little too late, though. And to give one of the Brown penalty killers a chance to get his stick down, Mike, and deflect that pass.
Brady Shue. Shoot it away.
Now 2-on-3. Shue has it on a shorthanded chance. Shot deflected into the netting by Marat as it goes over the corner. Can't get any hats on the ice because of the netting. Unless someone throws it way high over.
I just thought of that.
No hats to clean up.
But a nice attempt by the Colonials at the start of this power play that has followed up the Hebert hat trick goal, and Brady Shue preventing Mike Luria from getting a great look to the left of the Brown net.
Gottlieb was given referee Andy O'Brien an earful about something before the faceoff, which is won by RMU. 4-3 Brown. 1:14 left to go in the power play. Clear by Brown. Alex Robert scoots back as fast as he can as the Colonials trying to pick up on this momentum with the and one opportunity here. Then Tenuto barely comes in onside with Perkusic. Hebert's had the magic touch tonight. Lalonde trying to get it right back to him. Of course you would want to, right? Robert at right point. Hebert sets up shop in front of the goaltender. Then Tenuto center point Perkusic. Pass over Lalonde, duffs one. Hebert gets it, goes high off of the glass, falls down off the top of the end glass, and now it'll be cleared by the Brown Bears.
Yeah, Lalonde trying the one-timer and got too much heel.
And pretty much all ice on that one as Romo goes by us on the rail dive, his patented move. Loria pass to Tanj. Waits for Mentanito to join the party. Turnover and an easy clear that time. Alex Brink sends it the length of the ice.
Yeah, too many turnovers on this power play for RMU, which is about to expire.
Down to 10 seconds left. One more chance here. Loria creates a little bit of a pick there for Tanj, but
another one.
Easily shoot aside by Shoe. I'll do that one too, Mike. Why not? Turnover to Tanj. Two Colonials collide. He hits Loria. Loria goes flying, comes back up. Scoring opportunity. Good save, though, by Marat as he goes down and takes away a chance for Weberg.
You know, it's almost as if the Colonials were waiting for the other shoe to drop. But it didn't happen.
During that whole power play. The net is empty because a delayed call is coming against RMU. And Gottlieb goes back to get it. The goaltender, Kenya, has gone over to the bench. Weberg skates through the FedEx logo. Coyne takes a little swat at him. 6-on-5 play for now. Shot comes in. Marat makes the save.
What a stop.
What a great save by Frankie Marat with the extra skater on for Brown. Wrist shot deflects off Horseman. At least I thought I did.
Oh, brilliant sticker blocker save. Gottlieb at the blue line had his hands in the air, his stick upraised. It was one of those, Tim. How did it stay out?
Adamo tried to step up and make contact. Instead, Jenny will. 12:20 left to go. 4-3 Brown in front of the Colonials. Let's see which Colonial player is going to get the penalty.
It's going to be a holding penalty.
I think it's going to be Tanj.
At 7:40, but right now what's resonating is that save by Francis Marat, a potential turning point in this game, keeping it just a one-goal game.
I'm also assuming that we're going to have a timeout here. In fact, we will. Here come the guys out to clean the ice, and the ice crew is out, and we'll come back in a moment. We'll give you the details on the power play. I think officially it's going to go to Israel for 2 minutes. 12:20 left to go. Brown on top, 4-3.
Insured by NC.
Gottlieb, 4-3. Brown, welcome back to the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex in Cranberry. Clear for the Colonials. A huge moment here, down by 1. And it was touched by a high stick, so they'll blow it dead. And the faceoff is going to be in the defensive zone for Brown.
Brown 1 for 5 with the man advantage through the first 2 periods, and still can't get over that remarkable save by Francis Marat on Dorian Dawson in the slot during the delayed portion of that penalty. Max Gottlieb was sure that the puck was going to go in the net. He was starting his celebration.
Lynch has been very good in the face-off circle tonight. We told you won 8 of his first 10. Wins it by kicking it now, but it goes right back over to Jatari, and then those two collide accidentally, helmet to helmet. Looks like they're both okay. Both looking down at the puck to see where it was. Entry comes in okay for Brown. Marchin, watch this wrister outside the circle. Not a great angle for him, so he gives it up to Gottlieb at left point. Passes over to Jatari. We're in the A tonight for Brown. Marchin overskates the puck. Jatari sits up in the left circle. Comes back to Marchin. Now to Jatari. Has a lane. Wrister shot deflected though by Lynch. Goes in the corner. Lynch bats it away and partial clear for RMU. Fought for in the neutral zone. Lynch tries to take it from Jatari. Those two jaws. Lynch comes off the ice.
Well, I think if I'm Brown, I might be trying to set up Marchin.
57 seconds left to go in the power play. Robert hustles over. Gottlieb has it out left point, and what happened there? Got an interference call? Is this going to...
I think it's on Brown for interfering with Marat.
I just kind of caught that out of the corner of my eye. Marat was
That's happened once already, but there was also an instance where the penalty ended up being on RMU, but this time it looks like Berger's going in.
Berger giving an earful to O'Brien, who's heard it from a couple different players. Berger won't let it go. Finally comes into the box, and this is the third time, Mike, we've seen a Brown power play cut off with time remaining. Some significant time, 49 seconds. They were set up in the offensive zone.
Yeah. No wonder Brown is converting at a 7.7 success rate coming into tonight. But
yeah, if you don't get 2 full minutes every time, it's going to hurt your percentage, right?
Right now, Brown's got 1 power play going tonight, and it leads by 1. So the power play has done more than it usually does for the Brown Bears. By the way, what happens when they play Maine? Brown Bears against the Black Bears.
Guess I didn't think of that, but
Who
yeah.
wins that?
Well, Grizzlies are meaner, aren't they?
I don't know.
Backhand play by Shu after the faceoff win 4-on-4 with 40 seconds left to go before RMU gets the man up. Mentenuto, good play to take the puck away before it left the zone. Coleman trying to help him out. Brown doing what it can to get it out of the zone. They managed to do so. Jowling can't come up with the puck, though, as Coleman is pushed down to the ice. Second time in a row we've seen that on as many shifts for him. Mikulian hits Mentenuto with an exit pass. Mikulian takes a little elbow in the back, though. Justin Jowling gets around Mikulian, tries a shot, rolls up on Marat, puts the glove down, and trappers it with 10 seconds left.
That Colonial's a little sloppy again. Mikulian, that pass to Mentenuto in the skates, not on the blade. And Colonials definitely haven't been as detail-oriented the last 2 periods, but able to claw their way back into contention here, and still a lot of time left at 10:29, and a minute and 11 of power play time coming up in another 10 seconds. Bill Cowher was watching this game. I think he'd say it's been no Mozart, Tim.
Well, the Colonials do not want to be deterred. I think he'd say that as well. Now down to 2 seconds left. Still a battle in front for Marat, and it's bouncing around right near the left post. One more shot coming. Israel's back on the ice, sneaks in, and is able to deflect the shot that came from Gottlieb. That was good timing.
Yeah,
now Lynch barges into the offensive end. Now puts on the brakes, absorbs a hit, goes into the boards. Frenetic action near Frankie Marat before Israel came in to disrupt things.
Israel knew right where to go coming out of the box. Get to the guy with the puck and prevent that point shot.
Israel left circle, doesn't have an alley, gives it back off now to Tanj. Kind of in the center point area, now wanders his way over on top of the left circle, turns it over.
Silly turnover.
Laurie has to hustle back to make sure this doesn't turn into a 2-on-1. Brown more than happy to rag some time here. Alex Brink being very patient on the entry.
These are not forced errors the Colonials are making, Tim. There's not a lot of guys coughing it up under pressure. They just aren't precise.
Bounce the entry pass off the glass. It's behind the goaltender Kenya now as he tries to get back up to his skates. Puck moving back and forth behind the goal. Loria over to Adamo. Backhand feed to Israel. Thought about wristing it. Didn't have a chance to do so. Wrist shot comes in now, deflects off Perkusic, goes off the glass, and time has expired on the power play. Perkusic was dumped. We're going to get another penalty right away. It's going to be a trip right away again, right? Who's this going to be on?
Yeah, Brown had just gotten back to full strength.
They're going to put it on Adamo?
This time it looks like Robert Morris is going to go, yep, Adamo.
On a roughing? What did they call there? I thought Adamo had gotten tripped. Or Perkusic, one of the two of them. Oh, so a lot of special teams play here in this contest, particularly in the third.
10:56, the time of the call. And both referees are discussing it.
Adamo didn't give it much argument. That came from the far side of the ice, Mike, all the way on the other side. And we're going to get a timeout here. We'll sort it out. Another power play coming for the Brown Bears. 9:04 left to go. 4-3 Brown in front of Robert Morris.
Can't get enough of your favorite Colonial teams? Follow RMU Athletics on social media at RMU Athletics on Twitter, RMU Athletics on Instagram, and be sure to like our page on Facebook at Robert Morris University Athletics. Go Colonials!
Three of them cut short by penalties of their own. One power play goal for the Bears deflected, and Murat can't catch it. It gets by him. The shot came from Jatari at the left point. I don't know who it hit on the way by, but it looks like Jatari is going to get credit for the goal, at least initially. Murat reacted quickly, threw up the glove, but not in time, and it's 5-3 Brown. They retake the lead. The officials coming over to confer. They might be looking to see if it was hit with a high stick. It definitely did go off the shaft of a stick. I couldn't tell by who. Murat didn't react anyway like it was a high stick, but he did react quickly to the deflection. And Brown has gone up in front 5-3. If so, for a team with one of the worst power plays in the country, this would be their second man-up goal.
Yeah, that's really going to be galling if that is in fact the case. The Colonial penalty kill had been getting better. We talked in the pregame show about how Robert Morris had even started scoring shorthanded goals, something it is accustomed to doing. But boy, good thing Brown cut off about 3 of its own power plays tonight.
I know, right?
Otherwise, it might be really ugly here, Tim. 8:50 left in the third, and they're still looking.
Yeah, we're having some communication problems here between the crew down in the penalty box and the folks running the video back on top here at the broadcast deck. Maybe Romo and dancing in front of everybody isn't helping either.
They appear to be texting each other.
Why don't they text no, send, and goal, send? Yeah. That's what Robert Morris needs right about now.
Romo doesn't care. He's just letting it rip down there.
Shots on goal, 32-23. Brown, keep in mind they were a -10 in that department after one period of play, Mike.
Yeah, 0 scoring chances through the first 20 minutes for Brown.
The shot attempts 53-36 in favor of the Bears. And just to kind of recap what happened as we came back from break.
You know, I got to interrupt you here. Romo was just dancing with one of the, with a lady in the second row. And when he got done, he held up the call me sign, you know, with the hand. What if she calls him? He doesn't talk.
Guess they'll have to text too.
But it wasn't a text thing, it was a call me.
Mike, nobody calls each other anymore. It's just emojis back and forth. Maybe she'll send him the star eyes like Antonio Brown did to George Kittle.
Yeah, I thought he did some hard work there, and I think he made a bad play at the end.
Yeah, well, sometimes you skate it all the way in and you just run out of space and crash yourself into the boards.
You don't finish, you don't finish. That's the bottom line on that.
The official right now who's taking the look at the screen is Jay Durfee. And they seem to have sort of a makeshift way of trying to make these video replays happen here as we were at the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex. They usually don't review goals here in the practice facility, Mike. I know Matt Murray would like that from time to time, I'm sure. But
they're tapping the box, and Durfee's got his right index finger in his right ear.
Just sort of kind of remind you of like when your dad was watching a Steeler game back in the day. If you can't see it, go up and hit it and sit back down again.
Very much so, yeah.
That's kind of what we're looking at here. Now we're tapping the screen. We're fiddling with the knobs.
I don't have a lot of confidence in this process. I don't know which way they're going to rule, but I don't have a lot of confidence in this process.
Well, the other thing that didn't give me confidence was
anything.
Yeah, it's not like Frankie Murat immediately. Usually if it's even 50, not even 50-50, if it's 40-60, if it's 30-70, the goalie reacts like it was a high stick, it was a high stick. And the other thing about it is I didn't see a single Brown player react like he got his stick on it, and it definitely hit something. And everybody just ran right out to the point to celebrate the perceived goal scorer, Zach Jatari, the junior from Warwick, Rhode Island, all 6'2", 190 pounds of him. That would be his 3rd goal and 7th point of the season. Right now, I guess they're saying it did go off a Berger. So that's the initial inclination here, that if it was clipped in, it was hit by Berger. So maybe the goal will go to him. And if that's the case,
this is taking a long time.
Gottlieb, by the way, will get the assist.
I'm all for getting it right, but I'm all for keeping the flow of the game going too.
And they continue to take a look.
Okay, there's a little clarification, Tim. They're looking to see if the play's onside or offside.
Well, it did come back to the point, and boy, it didn't leave for very long. I'm trying to think, how long did they even have the puck in the zone after the faceoff? It was only a matter of seconds, right?
Well, it looks like we got the cell phones are being passed around, the helmets are being put back on, fingers have been extracted from ears.
And they say it's a good goal. So all that for nothing in the end. Berger, who's been an active player, will get himself a goal here after Mayer and Marchin and Weberg also scored. And we got a 5-3 hockey game with the Brown Bears now back in front by 2.
Yeah, all that good work the Colonials did in the first half of the third period. They're right back where they started, except they have a lot less time to complete a 2-goal comeback and get this thing to overtime.
Where, by the way, we would have a shootout because we got to determine a winner to move on. I know that makes you happy, Mike.
Well, it did come in here tonight, but the first game 7-2, and now this one's threatening to get out of hand.
I'm looking at some of the official scorers down there, just kind of shaking their hands. They look like the Steelers secondary, shaking their heads, palms in the air. What was that all about? What were we going to see? This looked like a mess up. You got another term that I wanted to use there, but I'll let it slide.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah. 2-line pass, misses Taj, comes from Israel, and that's going to be an icing.
Colonials win the draw and get it back to the blue line, and no pressure whatsoever. And
just
they
lose territory all the way back.
And this has happened repeatedly tonight. That's how a 2-0 lead after one becomes a 5-3 deficit with 8:44 left in regulation. Just a lot of unforced errors.
And it wasn't close either.
Sloppy execution. It's not precise. I don't want to say it's lazy, but it's not precise.
Luke Lynch with some speed right across the red line has to go to a knee to get it in onside. Hebert, every pass should try to get to him at this point with the way he's been playing tonight. He's got all 3 goals for the Colonials. Now leaning into his skates is Weberg. Another opportunity for Brown, trying to elevate the puck, and able to do so is Berger, who, at least for the time being, has been given that power play goal. Like I said, Mike, I didn't see any reaction from him aside from to skate right out and congratulate Jatari. But they're saying it was...
Was that the definition or replication of a football play where you know it's not a catch, but you want to get up there and run another snap because they gave it to you?
Yeah, something like that. So it's not to say you touched it yourself. Now right in front, a turnover for Murad, who's able to put both pads in the puck and stretching out, very upset with himself. Thought he had a chance for a better shot, was Trey Dodd.
Yeah, he pretty much fanned on that almost entirely. He was just able to nudge it into the crease. That might have been the dagger right there.
Game not over yet. 8-12, 5-3 Brown in front of Robert Morris. Dropped and fought for right near the face-off dot. Gets in position of RMU. Lalonde trying to go around Will Shearer behind the goal line. Mentenuto goes across the ice, and Alex Robert able to keep it in deep. Adamo reaching for the puck. He was just in the penalty box for that last goal against, and Adamo shoves off one of the Brown defensive players, Jatari.
Looked like Vance McDonald in Tampa.
And that would make Jatari Chris Conti, right? He didn't go down to the ice. Over the hand of Robert, bouncing puck, and it's an icing call. Wow. Brown doesn't like that. One of the officials falls in the far side.
I thought from our angle that Brent Beaudoin had gotten there first, but apparently not.
Brendan Whittet rolled his eyes skyward after that call. And this might be a little bit of a gift for RMU. Let's see if they can take advantage of it.
Derek Schooley coming back with Lynch, Taj, and Hebert after just one shift here, Tim.
They are -10 in the shot department, the Colonials, after being +10 after 20. That's amazing. And Lynch tries to go get his own face-off. He pushed it forward, and instead it comes up to Brown.
Yeah, and the turnaround in attempts and scoring chances just as amazing. So this game turned on a dime, and it hasn't turned back.
Kardukis, haven't seen a ton of him tonight. Gains center egg, crisp pass to Taj, tries to float one between 3 defenders. Kardukis' shot misses everything, bangs off the end boards. Hebert tries for a 4th, hits a defensive player, comes back to Taj. Lynch setting up. He wants a pass from Tonj. Stick handling like crazy out of the corner, trying to create some space. Lynch doesn't know what to do to both knees. Tonj tried an amazing backhand, but he couldn't elevate. Oh, Tonj almost came up with a highlight reel goal there. Lynch creeps in, throws the body into Bodwin. Jalen, good speed for him, tries to go over to the backhand. Murat takes it away. Now a long breakout pass. Lynch dives for it, but can't come up with it. Prevents it from being an icing. This will be an icing, though, on Brown, as Giles is the deep man after one was fired from behind the red line. 6:30 left to go as time is winding away on the Colonials here.
Yeah, and you really see on that last play, it just blown by Giles. It looks like it's all the Colonials can do to keep the feet moving, and Brown appears to have plenty left in the tank.
Well, Mike, you wanted to see number one? They might see number one anyway. Not the way that they wanted to. Puck is dropped here in the right face-off circle. Coleman didn't know where it went after he tried to fence for it. Perkusic had it for a millisecond. Now there's 5 guys along the far left wall. Schaefer sort of stuck between what to do. Couldn't get over to the puck in time. Decides to throw a big check into Jalen. Jalen wanted to counter with a little slash. Realized he was right in front of an official, so he choked that one back intelligently. Coleman can't get past Crozier. Can't keep it along the boards either. Schaefer went down for a glove, and that one's going to be an icing.
Not far enough.
Nope, not far enough. Didn't get beyond the dots. Israel, tight quarter pass from Schaefer. Swatted it by Perkusic with the backhand, rolling over the end line. Coleman comes in with a hard forecheck, but he's the one that ends up being upended. Burston sees the puck go past him from Gessert as Brown comes into the offensive end. Burston shows some speed, though. Coyne on the backhand in front of the RMU bench. Goes off the heel of the stick of Watt. In by himself. Now Coyne tries to get down deep in a hurry. 4 players in front of the band. Robert swats it up into the air. Coyne sees it go off the dasher, falls back down. Start and stop move here from Brandon Watt. Coming up from behind the trapezoid out to Jenny. As Jenny lost it for a moment. Burston unable to get it through the neutral zone, though. 5:07 left, and RMU still down by a pair. Murat watches the puck, goes into the trapezoid. Alex Robert gets up to speed quickly.
Colonials back to Lynch, Hebert, and Tonj again.
Boy, Robert, fine stick handling here, eluding a couple stick checks all the way deep behind the end line. Gerdukis assumes a defensive posture at the right point.
I think Hebert has 2 more in him, Tim.
Better have at least one, and maybe somebody else can pick up the slack from there, but Hebert has been a magician this evening. Tonj doesn't have an angle, loses out to Gottlieb, the defensive captain. Gottlieb on the backhand, pass comes out now along the left point, an easy save there by Kenya. And who got dumped? Was that
Lynch?
Lynch?
He didn't get dumped, he sort of crumpled. Didn't really hit the ice hard, but he hit it, and Ferrero putting the hands up with the "I didn't do it" gesture, the universal sign for
I did it.
Nothing to see here.
4:23 left. Are we going to get a timeout? We are. We'll step aside. Brown on top, 5-3 over RMU here in the third.
Fox's Pizza.
I was always fairly into education. I took it serious, and I'd always thought about the additional education, but I just never really thought I'd have the time to do it.
My dad and my brother got their MBA before I did, so they always said that they were in the master's club and I wasn't in it. So then when I finished mine, Joe wasn't in the club, so he felt the need to join our club.
So I'm trying to balance this work and school and home life, and then we find out in October that we're expecting a baby. It's just going to be a whole new adventure and just a lot of exciting things going on in our life.
Can't get enough of your favorite Colonial sports? Follow RMU Athletics on social media at RMU Athletics on Twitter, RMU Athletics on Instagram, and be sure to like our page on Facebook at Robert Morris University Athletics. Go Colonials!
My girls still have their dad.
Three remaining in this game, and RMU needs to come back in a hurry. They are down by 2 goals. Brown in front, 5-3. Mentenuto wins the faceoff in the offensive end. Gerdukis, as they stack in front of the goaltender Kenya. I'm watching here to see if Murat creeps out from his own cage. Nothing early yet.
Maybe another minute.
Yeah, Derek tends to be aggressive here. Trying to watch both goalies at once. Now turnover by Kenya. Adamo can't take advantage though. Deflection from Lalonde and it's in. Now they're going to say that was a high stick. A great deflection though from Nick Lalonde. If he didn't get it up too high over the crossbar, RMU will have pulled within one. Now, let's take another 10 minutes to look at, Mike, but quite the deflection there from Nick Lalonde.
And a good play. I think it was Israel who tracked the puck down as it was about to leave the RMU end, and he kept it in and just kind of whirled and fired at the net. And Lalonde standing between the circles, probably 5 feet or so in front of the crease, able to tip that in for the time being.
Young, scrappy, and hungry freshman Nick Lalonde. If it stands, it's his 4th goal and 8th point. This is one, Mike, where especially when you're not in an NHL rink with NHL cameras, he was so far out, it's going to be hard to say if he got it above the crossbar. Wouldn't you say? Like, you don't have the crossbar as the immediate reference point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And Brown reacting immediately as if it was not a good goal, but then again,
that's what I was talking about before in the other direction.
What would you expect Brown to do? Oh, hey, nice job, kid. Way to get your team back in the game. I think they're going to try to influence a call there.
Yeah, it's hard for me to say without the advantage of having a parallel angle.
Almost impossible for us. We're seeing it live. You know.
I mean, it was a heck of a deflection.
Real life speed, and we don't get another look at it. 3:52 left in regulation. If it stands, the Colonials are back within 1. And Lalonde, another one of those guys. You know, we kind of checked them off in the pregame show, and
throughout four freshman goals, Mike, if it stands.
Throughout the early portion of the broadcast, you want everybody to play better in the second half. You want everybody to be more productive in the second half. But after the first half, you can look at some of these RMU players as it looks like we're going to get a call here. I'll hold my thought as the referees are coming out of the penalty box. No goal.
Yeah, that looked like it was awful high. Like we said, it was a little tough to tell because he was so far away from the net when he did it. But, I mean, it was at least above the M in RMU.
Yeah, still pretty
deft hands.
Well executed hockey play, keeping it in and ripping it to the net and then tipping it in the net. But face off outside the brown-blue line. I love saying the brown-blue line. It's like that old Stephen Wright thing. The door is ajar. What?
Drive on the parkway, park in the driveway. What happens when you turn your lights on at light speed? Perkusic down the half wall.
Goalie's out.
And Murat has gone. I just saw the signal being given from Derek Schooley after the goal was disallowed. So now they're going to do whatever they can to get back quickly, and the puck bounces off the side of the net. Israel in play with it. Lead pass to Eber, who is creeping at the blue line and looking for his 4th.
Yeah, he just couldn't get going forward fast enough.
Perkusic kicks it up to his stick.
So one thing he can't do, Tim, go from 0 to 60 quickly.
It wasn't so bad, though. Now Israel hanging out in the right circle. The rifle is cocked. He's got a chance if he can elevate, and he scores! Eric Israel sneaks in, and the goaltender, Luke Kenya, was sprawled out, looking forward, and then looking above himself as Eric Israel puts it in the net. Look him in the eye, and then aim a little higher. Eric Israel scores, and it's 5-4 again, Colonials. This one will stand.
Yeah, great job by Lynch getting a hard, low shot, the kind you normally get a rebound off of. And Israel jumping on that rebound, and he had a bit of a tough angle, but he knew the goaltender was down and out, and all he had to do was work his hands and elevate. He did it, and it's back to a 1-goal deficit with just over 3 minutes remaining. Murat back in the RMU net.
Yep, for now, after the faceoff goes to Jenny. Tipped in from Adamo. Mentenuto follows up behind Kenya. Now Jenny at the right point, barely kept it in. Scurrying over is Alex Robert, but he has a turnover. Good thing that Murat stayed in because a 2-on-1 is coming the other way for Brown. Wrist shot, save, long rebound. Scooping it up though is Lalonde. Bounces a pass out to Mentenuto. 2-on-1 with Adamo. He goes in the center to try to get an alley and a drive here. Wraparound chance, deflected away. Sticking with that play the whole way was Zach Jatari, who's been effective in both ends of the ice here for the Brown Bears. Another 2-on-1 counter for Brown. Right circle pass in front, shot and a score. Great feed and an excellent goal. Fine finishing work by Colin Burston to put Brown back in front by 2. It's 6-4. End-to-end action, and Brown pays it off at the end.
Yeah, it was a 2-on-1 because Israel got wiped out in the neutral zone, and some of the fans here, the RMU fans, wanted a penalty. The bench isn't going particularly crazy. I think it was just one of those bang-bang plays, and Israel ended up on the ice, and Brown ended up with a 2-on-1, and that one, the Brown Bears able to convert the cross-crease pass. Moments ago, Murat able to make the save in that situation. This time, the goal that makes it 6-4 with 2:24 left.
Lynch tried to play it forward to himself on the draw. Jalen a chance from left circle. Stops, starts, gets away from Schaefer just enough. Good puck support behind him by Michael Maloney.
Some of the Colonial fans heading for the exits. I just saw a Cody Wido jersey leaving. Could probably use that guy right about now.
See if you can sneak him on as a 7th skater.
Inside of 2 minutes now. Brown, season high 5 goals last Sunday against Army, a season high 6 tonight.
Another deflection attempt on the feed from Fierro to Justin Jalen. Icing against the Colonials at the 1:45 mark. 6-4 Brown in front, 36-26. The shots on goal.
Just realized my pass ripped.
Yeah, same thing happened to mine too.
We're gonna need this tomorrow. Then again, at 5 o'clock, who's going to be really paying attention?
We're going to be sneaking in around 3, I believe. Did Colonials just call the timeout here, Mike?
Somebody has. Derek Schooley's got his arms folded.
He's coming up with a 3-point play. Murat staying in the net for the time being while the skaters go over and hear it from Derek.
Well, Derek getting out the dry erase board, and he's going to draw something up. Hope he's got a 3-point play. Colonials trying to get back in it here in the third period, Tim, but just too leaky. They really got nothing done in the second period after a dominating first period. And then in the third period, they were able to kind of scratch and claw their way back, but every time they did, mistakes and transition by Brown and counter attacks and counter offense by Brown, which, boy, they got to be feeling, the Brown Bears have to be feeling really good about themselves.
They've been decent since December 1st, right?
Yeah, they're going to improve to 3-1-2 in their last 6 games, and they get, it looks like they get to play Union for the championship tomorrow night. They just played Union to a 3-3 tie.
Yeah, that was back on December the 7th. That was an ECAC game. This will be a, this will not count as a conference game for them.
It's the kind of thing that can jumpstart a season. It's what RMU was hoping for. And
oh, that's a late call, wasn't it? Or are they calling something? They calling a penalty behind the play, or is that the latest offsides call of all time?
Icing or offside?
Well, they're doing it up at the middle of the ice, aren't they?
Colonial net's empty again for what that's worth. But yeah, this is what Brown is doing in this tournament so far, as Murat is going to come back into the net now. Brown, the faceoff will be at center ice. I'm not sure what they called. It's going to be at the center dot. Does that mean they're not sure what they called?
I think that's exactly it, because it was so late. Now Israel with his head up, trying to find a pass, angles one with a bank.
Murat's out again.
Ebert hit from behind there. Dorian Dawson buried him. Ebert trying to sneak his way in for one more. Goes over the stick of Burston, comes back to Robert. 1:19 left, the Colonials down by 2. Loria spins around to put on his backhand and re-enter the zone. Alex Tonge in front of the band. 2 Colonials there, he and Loria. Now Ebert drifts in, and the puck goes off of the Brown bench as it went along the boards. So we'll have a face-off in the Brown offensive end with 62 seconds left.
It'll be 102, Tim. Some might say 102.5.
Do you have a .5 somewhere?
No.
Oh, all right. Little free plug.
It's my day job.
I don't blame you.
Some are probably saying, why don't you stick to that right about now? Or don't quit that.
All right, now we've hit the 1 minute mark. Perkusic pushed by and he lost his stick. Empty net goal from distance, and it's in.
Boy, did Brown work hard for that one. Who was that?
I think, as I was sort of screened off by Perkusic, I think it was Maloney who got it.
I think so too. He kind of fought his way through two Colonials and just nudged the puck over center red, and then got off a pretty good shot. And
plenty of goals in these 3 games, Mike. It's 7-4 now. Brown in front of Robert Morris. It was 7-2 Union in the first game.
Brown gets the extra point, and it'll be RMU against number 1 St. Cloud tomorrow at PPG Paints Arena at 5 p.m. Number 1 St. Cloud coming off a 7-2 spanking at the hands of number 14 Union.
Yeah, I don't think St. Cloud's going to be too fond of the notion of coming all the way to Pittsburgh and leaving without a point. Horseman has a scoring opportunity, ran out of real estate though and almost hit the post.
But likewise, a great opportunity for RMU. There will be no Confluence Cup this year, but a chance to make a statement and generate some momentum.
Schaefer fired a pass to Horseman, goes off the heel of his stick and into the netting. Half a minute left to go.
I don't know if the Colonials got too comfortable tonight, Tim, or Brown just kind of dug deep and found another gear. But the RMU went from a dominating first period to kind of a poorly executed second, and this third period's just been scrambly, and they've been chasing the game the whole time and just unable to catch up to it.
They're going to pull Marat here. Dylan Lubismeyer is going to come in for the last 31 seconds as they'll make a goalie change. Imagine Marat's going to play against St. Cloud tomorrow, so he needs as much rest as he can.
This extra 31 seconds.
Yeah, they'll do it.
I think it's just getting Lubismeyer in the game.
His family's here as well. Here's Lalonde at his offensive blue line, at a goal taken off the board earlier. 17 seconds left. Schaefer tries to keep it in. Rifles one, goes off of Adamo. Turning shot over the crossbar. Had a lot of heat there.
Yeah, what a release.
Now Adamo tries to prevent the exit. 5 seconds left to go. Here comes Schaefer for one last check. Gets a glove up in his face from Brady Shue, and the clock expires. Turn the lights off at the ground round. Or what's the spot up here? The Firebird? First round's on Brown after that one, after they put 7 on the board. Your final score 7-4. The Bears beat Robert Morris. When we come back, it's the UPMC Sports Medicine postgame show on ESPN Pittsburgh.
Jerry.